It is time for the Hour of Power with the Heroic Vibration Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about Black Panther, and you know it, more Black Panther. And if you have any special requests for any topics, hit us up on Twitter. What up with your YouTube and YouTube bust? It's your boy TripleCup Chuck, and I'm up. And you're tuning in to the Vibration Podcast where we talk about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and more. Welcome to my humble abode. Let's go. And before we get started with the introductions, I want to let everybody that's listening now, listening later, that this episode is spoilerific. So that means if you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back and check out the podcast. I'm not saying don't watch the podcast because this is going to be an epic episode for everybody to see. I got some special guests, everybody to see in Black Panther. I'm guessing we going for the record-breaking who could watch it the most times because I thought I was doing something saying I'm at 2. No, I said I want to do mine out there first. I'm at 2. So now I'm hearing everybody saying, oh, I'm at 2. I'm going to go watch it for the third time this on Thursday, this Saturday. I'm like, oh, shit, I need to get my game up. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to these introductions. Y'all know this spoilerific. First up, I got a special guest. You know what I'm saying? His first time on here. This man is a real humble person. He doing his thing. He'll help anybody out. But do not cross him. Do not cross him. You know what I'm saying? He's a big dog in his Xbox streets. You know what I'm saying? He do Big Dog podcast on BGST. He got his own podcast. You know what I'm saying? He doing major things, but this man is humble, but do not cross him. K Mega, introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you at.
I don't even know what to say after that, bro. I have no idea. But man, I appreciate it, man. Hey, everybody, you can check me out on my channel, K Mega 405. You can check me out on Twitter at K Mega 4. Man, it's great to be on here, man. I've been saying that I was going to come on here, Chuck, and so like this is the special time. This is the best time right now. We're going to be talking about Black Panther and more Black Panther, man. So let's get it up. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, no doubt.
Much love.
Oh man, much respect to my GRG brethren.
Yeah, damn lad. Let's get in here. All my people, let's do this.
Family.
Next up, I want to go ahead and hit Sinister. You know what I'm saying? He's a hardcore gamer, man. We've been doing this here for a while. A lot of people don't know, man. We've been linking up for forever and a day now. You know what I'm saying? On the Gamer Section podcast, when we first linked, and we've been bros ever since then. Say, Sinister, introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you at, and let them know how you in this thing.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to Sinisterville. I'm just your main man, Sinister. And just like what TripleCup said, you can find me on the GSP podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Kunshoot19. You can follow me on Xbox, Sinister with a Y, Tar Heel. And I'm just ready to talk about Black Panther, Wakanda forever.
Wakanda. Yeah, man, I'm going there. I don't care if it's fictional or not. I'm going. I'm gonna find a way there. Yeah. Next up, I'm just gonna watch when I do this here. He know who I'm talking about. Yo.
Yo, it's the Xbox Goes Kaleidoscope. And we're about to get dumb stupid in here on Black Panther, yo. And I got to tell you people, I seen it 4 fucking times. 3 times in 3D and once in 2D, yo. In the 3D, it's almost some Avatar level shit, yo. Hands down, yo. People can check me out on my on my YouTube channel at Kaleidoscope, on Xbox Live at Kaleidoscope, and on Twitter at DirectX-duh. I'm not going to say what else because y'all know what else. Let's get this, though, man. Let's do this.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, last week I said rip their heart out. He was like, man, don't be on telling on me. You know what I'm saying? He like O.J. Simpson. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. You know what I'm saying? But this dude is brutally honest. And like I said, he real and he's young. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the world, Kano, and let them know where they can find you at.
I'm only here so I won't get fined, first and foremost. Nah, this your boy, the real young Kano, the brutal guy in this gamer. You already know what it is. Gamer Section Podcast, Intermediate Gaming. You already know what it's info. On Twitter, Real Young Kano. Facebook, the Real Young Kano. YouTube, Kano's Gaming Section. You did. We're going to do dumb, stupid, handicap, retarded on this Black Panther goodness. You did what I'm talking about. Let's get it. Let's go.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Next up, we got Bloody Motherfucking Knuckles. Introduce yourself and let them know where they can find you at.
Yo, you know what it is, man. It's the boisterous man, the man who don't take no shit.
Yeah.
It's Bloody Knuckles, man. You know, you can find me at Twitter at Bloody Knuckles, and of course on my show on Saturdays at the Smash Podcast, where we do our thing as well.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. They be, what thing do y'all be doing, man? Let them know something.
Yo, man, we're the little corner of the internet where you could check out all things nerdy, just like right here, man. Comics, movies, games, anime, manga, whatever you want. We all there. And man, last week we was popping off about Black Panther, and this week we gonna be doing the same thing again. I gotta tell you right now, though, this Saturday is gonna be a hell of a show, cause one of our boys from the Broadband said he didn't like the movie, bro. He thought it was dog shit.
Well, who was it, Neville's?
No, not Nethels, bro. Moss.
Oh, man.
So fucking everyone, literally, I'm calling in everyone. You want to come out and throw your voice out there, man? We gonna light his ass up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he need to. Hey, but no, there might be a lot of people had their expectation on a level where it's unreachable. You know what I'm saying? That's so you're gonna have people like that when it's on a level like that.
From what he's saying, man, it's not even that it was that, man. His biggest thing that killed it for him was apparently Killmonger. And I'm just like, bro.
Oh, hey, no, matter of fact, no, he trolling.
What's going on? Let's not even go into that.
Hey, hold on. Shout out to Biggie 2316. He's like fraud. Indeed he is. Indeed he is.
So we're gonna be hosting Moss on Saturday. So trust me, you're not gonna want to miss that.
Yeah. All right, next up.
We're about to burst that bubble in a little bit, actually. So
we about to get it now. Okay, next up, last but not least, I got to introduce, you know what I'm saying, that boy Savage Carter, you know what I'm saying? He's a juggernaut in Destiny. He did me a huge favor because it's something we're gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying? He went common diving, you know what I'm saying? When I go in the background, I be going dumpster diving, I'm trying to find information, you know what I'm saying? I got to give a shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? He was able to go out there and dig and come up. He pulled up him a rabbit. Well, Savage Carter, you know what I'm saying? Let him know how you out here living.
Man, what's happening, everybody? You know, it's me. I'm back. It's been a while, but you know, I've been doing research back in the lab, and I think I done came up on a little winner. But you know, let's dive.
Oh,
I don't know if he went all the way out, but you know what I'm saying?
All the way out.
Hey, I'll pause and say, is this me? And now I froze for a second.
Yeah, everybody froze.
But yeah,
Yo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you back now. You can hear him? Yeah, you the internet had kind of cut out a little bit.
Wi-Fi signal tripping, but I think I'm in here.
Okay, we good. Well, let's I mean, I don't have to ask nobody what they've been up to, because I assume, you know what I'm saying, everybody been up to watching this Black Panther goodness. You know what I'm saying? You know, 2, it's the minimum round here. Because they got people going 4 and look like 5 times. So 2 is the minimum. So you had to see it twice. So
I was trying to let y'all know that I seen it 7 times.
Damn! Come on down, no, bro. No way. There's no way.
Shit.
Oh man, come on.
Man. That's what's up, though, man. If you did go 7 times, that's what's up, man.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Man, I remember now we'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that one in a minute. But I'm gonna go to my guest. I'm just gonna start out with something like just a little warmer, you know what I'm saying? Mega, overall, what do you think of the movie? Just did it meet your expectations? Don't go into no depth, but just know what I'm saying, was it, because a lot of people saying it's bad, some people say it was good. So where you're staying at?
Well, when I came to, because of all the hype, I dumbed it down because I lowered my expectation just for the mere fact that it was because everything that gets super hyped, it always disappoints a lot of people. So I came in there with lower expectations, and then when I came out, my expectations was like shot through the roof because the movie was so damn good. It even went further than beyond than what I was thinking that the movie was going to be. I thought it was a fantastic film. It blew my mind just how it represented itself, how it made everybody how it gives you a sense of empowerment, and then not just
uplifting, feeling.
Not for just people of color, but for women and for just anybody out there. I mean, it was just an awesome experience to see this how a comic book movie could make people really just feel good about who they are, man. It was a testament to the director and to the team, to the people that all supported this film.
Right, and the film put off a positive vibe. So when you go see it, it just gives off a vibe that you like, man. Everybody on this movie got along. Everybody was, you could tell it wasn't no hostile environment. Everybody liked each other. Everybody respected each other. It was one of those type of environments. You know what I'm saying? So what about you, Sinister? How the overall look? What you thought of the movie?
Oh man, it surpassed my expectation. I mean, it was just good from beginning to end. I mean, I give props for Ryan Coogler because he brought his own flavor, because he helped with the screenplay along with directing, and plus, I mean, him and Michael B had that connection, because that's his one-time collaborator. Of course, since Fruitvale Station. I mean, think about it. I mean, ever since they teamed up, I mean, he had like a small budget for everything he directed. And when he got $200 million, for Black Panther, I mean, heck, I mean, you just like a crap ton of money. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's just a great story from beginning to end, and especially with the characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what's up. What about you, Kaleidoscope? What was like your overall thoughts of it? Good or bad?
Actually, it was phenomenal, yo. I mean, I already knew it was going to be good. It's just Marvel. They really, think about it, their last 5, 6, 7, 8 movies, they haven't really dropped the ball, right? They've just been knocking it out the park. And I like what Sinister said about Ryan Coogler. Yeah, he's only done 3 films, 3 for 3. He's 3 for 3, bro. And Michael B. Jordan has been part of those 3 movies. All right, he's basically, let's say, Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. Know what I'm saying? How they always teaming up on movies? Yo, right. That's Ryan Coogler and Michael B. All right, and Ryan Coogler has a certain sensibility when he writes, because he also co-wrote Black Panther. Know what I'm saying? And not only did he co-write it, but he brought that human element to the story. All right, and then he gave us a villain that, if you look at it from like the human perspective and whatnot, it's a lot of the things that he's talking about, you got to agree with him on. You might not agree with the way he goes about, unleashing his plan and whatnot, but the stuff that he talks about, he was like, damn, I kind of agree with this dude, man. And the whole backstory he gave to all these characters, every character in this movie was fleshed out, whether it was male or female, all right? In a society where there wasn't a difference, all right? That's another thing. That's another deep aspect of the movie, all right? Because we're born here in the US of A, all right? So we know, the gender inequality and whatnot, right? Between males and females and whatnot. But this is a society where they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? A society where the women are the ones protecting the king, bro. It's just some crazy shit, yo. It's just a society that was left to flourish by itself with no colonization. All right. I mean, it just speaks on so many levels to me and whatnot that it actually blew my mind. That's the reason I went back so many times, and I plan on going the 5th time this weekend. All right. It's just because of what they did, what they brought to the table. And not only that, I've seen some people online and on Twitter, even some videos in these YouTube streets where people was like, oh no, there's been black superheroes before. Yeah, there has. I agree with you. There has been black superheroes before, but none of those superhero movies ever had a $200 million budget. All right. This is the first one. All right. By a black director, black and writers, black cast. You know what I'm saying? The white people were actually the token people up in this movie. All right, which was a trip. You know what I'm saying? And not to say anything bad, but it does speak to all races. All right, because the people in Korea, man, the people in Korea, they loved that movie so damn much that when the reporters went to their hotel room the next day, they was dressed up in their traditional garb from Korea. All right, because it made them proud to be who they was and to represent themselves. And that's an entirely different race, people. All right, so just to let you know that Black Panther speaks to all races. All right, it's about being proud of who you are and who you can be. You know what I'm saying?
That's the best advice you can get a whole world, man. Clouder, you ready? Cause man, we ain't started diving into topics really yet. And
I know. My bad.
You ready? I like that. So what about you, Savage? What you think about the overall of this whole Black Panther movie?
First of all, being a Black Panther fan as a child, I never thought this movie was gonna happen. To actually see it happen was, one of the greatest things I ever seen. And on top of it, it's one of the best movies I done watched in a long time. That's why I went back to watch it so many times, because I was going back to the comic books to compare if they got stuff right. And most of everything they got in the movie was on point with the comic book.
Wow.
So I really have nothing to complain about.
Yeah. Hey, you better watch out. Kaleidoscope finna catch you. Man, hey, me and Savage went up there to because it was sold out. We ended up going and we had to sit on the first row, VR the whole movie. I'm telling you, I'm glad it wasn't 3D. So, what about what about you, Kano? You know what I'm saying? What you thought about the overall? And man, don't say it sucked, because I know it's gonna come out your mouth.
I wasn't about to say that at all, man. That's one
man, you killed me with that one too many times.
Well, man, you have to hold that out for that one, because, like I said, I wasn't planning on saying that at all for that one. You heard me?
Oh, wow.
From what my standpoint from that movie, you heard me. When I went to see the movie, I seen it last night. Matter of fact, I kept my expectations in check. You feel me? Because I didn't come in there like on a high expectation. I just came in there in check. And when I walked in there, you know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning of the movie, I'm spoiling anyway. I don't give a care. You heard me? When they started off at Oakland, California, you heard me? When the young Forrest Whitaker was up in there, dude done showed him out and stuff like that, and he had to kill their own brother. You heard me?
Yeah.
Oh, Cain and Abel there.
But
dude, that opening scene right there, man.
Yeah, that was the Cain and Abel.
Yeah, that was some shit, bro.
That took the cake. You heard me? But they had so many scenes in the movie that was just like phenomenal. You feel me? But it gives a lot of empowerment in a movement. You know what I'm saying? It had so many different meanings, especially with the ending. It had a meaning what Michael B. Jordan was saying. You know what I'm saying? It had meaning behind that. You feel me?
Every scene between all the characters had a power behind it, because especially a lot of people are just looking at it the fact of, man, it's just a movie with a black superhero and a black cast. That's not what it's about. That's a good part of it, but what pissed me off is that people weren't looking at what was being told. One, it was a big message behind the movie. One, it was about the battle of ideologies. One, T'Challa was trying to come to terms with who he was and what kind of man he wanted to be. He was so set in following the path that his dad left behind and the traditions left by the kings before him. And what happened when because one, he was still in grief dealing with the loss of his dad. But when he found out what his dad did to his uncle and everything that they try to hide, he did not know how to handle that, because he did not know what to do at that point. Whereas with Killmonger, he was set on what he wanted to do because he knew what he had lost. He knew what was taken away from him, and he knew what they were hiding. So he was forced to make a change. He was a catalyst that set everything off, because he was going to make the change if no one wanted to do it. T'Challa had to realize that he wanted
Now he spoke for me, so I ain't really gotta say no more.
Man,
It's all good.
Hey, I was like, well, Knuckles, go ahead and get it. I was gonna say it's Black Panther, so that's how we're gonna have to dive in here. You know what I'm saying? We got to take this
good. I know Knuckles got some shit he got to say.
Yeah, that's why I said, like I said, he said it for me. I ain't got to say no more.
Sorry, man, but it's just one of those things when I've seen like
you gotta breathe, Knuckles. You gotta breathe, bro.
Oh man, I can't breathe, man.
Hey, he just exhale. There's everything.
Yo, but there's one thing I gotta clear up though, Knuckles. There's just one thing I gotta clear up. The Cain and Abel thing, that you don't find that until later on in the movie.
Yeah, no.
I'm saying, because they just introduced him. Supposedly, you think that they took him away. That's the only inkling you got in the beginning of the movie. Later on is when you're like, oh, he's Panther. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he left.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I didn't say anything about the Cain and Abel. I think that was Mega who said that.
I didn't say that.
No, but that is on point though.
Oh, was it Kano? Kano said, yeah. But no, it
wasn't me. Say that.
I was just clearing up that scene came up later on in the movie, but it was a Cain and Abel aspect to it.
Yeah. But it's spoiler. This episode spoiler, so everybody listening, they know it's spoilerific.
Definitely. There's one thing I got to tell you guys. Remember the very beginning, the way it opened, right? Yeah. Incredible opening right there. He's talking about the history of Africa. Who do you think is speaking in the beginning of the movie?
That's ain't this his daddy?
That's Njobu speaking to Michael B. Jordan's character.
Yeah, he's telling.
Oh, damn.
He's telling his son. And he's like, "Oh, why they still hiding?" Know what I'm saying? Because listen to the kid's voice. That's an American accent.
Yeah. And that's what was good about it, is that because later in the scene when Killmonger takes over and gets the heart-shaped herb, you hear him talking to his dad and reading, and his dad goes up to him. He's like, "You're going in my stuff again."
Yo, we should dissect it from the very beginning, bro. Just to be honest,
we really could, bro. We can literally break down every scene.
Down. Before we get into dissecting, you know what I'm saying? I want to know what y'all think about them not actually saying that the soul gem was in Wakanda, but everybody know if the what it is, the heart thing that they eat, the heart herb, or the herb, the herb that they eat, the heart-shaped herb, it must be something that have to do with the soul gem, because the soul gem does have the same exact properties.
Don't have nothing to do with the soul gem, Chuck.
Yeah, bro. The heart-shaped herb has to do with the vibranium. The heart-shaped herb is powered by
the goddess, the Panther gods.
Yeah, exactly.
And that don't have nothing to do with the vibranium.
No, that's different.
Does anybody have any theories about the soul gem? I know I got a theory.
Look, I'm still sticking with the fact that the soul gem is with Adam Warlock, because they're gonna have to introduce him in the second.
Adam Warlock is not coming, bro.
No. But here's what I'm saying is that he's not gonna be in this one because there's still the Avengers 4 movie.
He ain't coming in Avengers 4 either, bro.
Man, they gotta introduce. They gotta have a soul gem. It have to be because the next war is the Infinity War. Yep. So it had to be in Wakanda. That's why they showed Wakanda in the beginning of the trailers. So that's why I'm saying this. I mean, this is not they said this is not the comic books. They using the comic books as references, but they doing their own thing. So I'm thinking they're gonna add that in the. That's why the property is
it's still the working theory, because that's why in the trailer, when we see the trailer for Infinity War, why all of Thanos's Blackguard is invading Wakanda, and you see all of the tribes, you see the Dora Milaje, you see the Djibouti and everyone else preparing to protect the borders alongside the Avengers with Black Panther. So
I don't think he after vibranium. He want that. He want that stone.
Right, yeah, he want that soul stone.
So that's the only reason why we just attacked
all of them, but we don't know if at this point he has already taken down Vision or what.
Here's my theory, people. The soul stone is in that mountain of vibranium.
Right. That's where I think it's at.
Yeah. All right. That's why Wakanda's on the front lines and whatnot. And they got the entire nation out there ready to fight Thanos' forces.
And you know what? And another thing that I think you're hitting a point on, Collider, is that I don't think that they know that they got the soul stone yet. I think that the deeper that they dig in that mountain, like just so happens that they just mine and then they just come and they find something, like something does some kind of crazy reaction, and then they find it, and then they're studying it, and then that's what brings Thanos into like, oh, that's where I need to be. So I think that they don't know that they have this thing, because if they were going to show it in the movie, because what I thought that they were going to do is that they was going to show it like powering the city, that was going to be the thing that was the kind of like the fortress of when the people were flying into the where they were flying into the city, and I'm to Wakanda because it was invisible around it. It had a big barrier. So the thing of it is, I think that they don't even know that they have it yet. That's my theory, and they're going to stumble on it, and then that's what I think is going to trigger all the effects that's going to be coming in.
I mean, it's
going to draw that attention.
Because you got to think about what they stated too, especially when you hear what Claw was telling Ross, and what Shuri kind of brought up is that they've been digging into this mountain for years.
Thousands.
They barely scratched the surface.
Right.
Yeah, he said they've only scratched the surface, so we don't know how deep that vibranium from that meteor went into the mountain, and how much there is. Because if you think that they've been doing this for thousands of years and been able to build themselves up and they haven't even touched it. We don't know how far that goes.
Well, you just see in the beginning of the movie when they were showing when the meteorite hit, it was it took the whole almost the whole continent. It was huge. How much of that was
the impact? The velocity of the impact.
Yeah. It was
the whole country of Wakanda.
Yeah, it was like it was veins just going. It was stretching all the way to the damn ocean. You know what I'm saying? It was ridiculous. I mean, so yeah, there's a lot of potential of where they could go with the story. It's just that I'm glad with this movie that they didn't. That it was like what somebody said in the chat that this was definitely the best origin story for any of these superhero characters. Because of the fact that it's a standalone movie that has a tie-in with the Avengers, and it stood its own. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It was able to stand its own ground, and there's so much in its own universe that you could take out the rest of the MCU, and it would still have so much there for itself.
Right.
Yeah, it's so broad. I mean, you got to think about it. How it started in Oakland, because I mean, think about it. The history about Oakland. I mean, of course, we know that's Cougar's hometown. I also think about it, the Black Panther part, because think about the comic came out months before the movement. So
right,
look how it all ties in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it all give it more of a deeper meaning of how you look at things, like how they have deeper meanings with Kilgore. I mean, I call him Kilgore. Killmonger. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Somebody else kept saying Kilgore. Now they got me saying Kilgore. Killmonger.
Stop that killeristic, bro.
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that he was saying, and the way you could look at it, if the camera angle wasn't on Black Panther side and they would have reversed the camera angle where we would have been following him, we would have thought he was the good guy, and the Panthers was bad. Because it was just the angle that they showed, because neither one was really bad. It was a shade of gray. Everybody had their own different angles. So you had to really look at and that's just the surface of the movie. It goes so deep into so many different topics, and the way he say stuff, you could use it versatile between every language, every culture, and however you could look at it, you could relate to this here, because this is a situation that's really relatable. The people, what they going through is relatable. And even if you could take it down from a king status to you getting a job status, and how you gotta, you know, overcome these obstacles. So you gotta look at it from this angle, from stuff that goes out, you know, is show you a Black movie. It has family ties where it show you like stuff that goes on in a family movie. So this is what a Tyler Perry movie should have been. This story here.
But see, the problem is somewhere down the line you would have seen Medea, probably in the, you know, somewhere, and then would have just fucked up the whole movie.
My son-in-law actually came at me with something cool about that though. He was like, "Do you watch the Tyler Perry movies?" I was like, "Hell no." He said, "Would you watch Medea Goes to Wakanda?" I was like, "Hell yeah!"
That's next. That's next. Watch. I guarantee Tyler Perry's gonna go do some shit like that. So listen, this is. To me, when because somebody made a comparison, and I forgot who the comparison they said it was for Killmonger and T'Challa, but to me it was kind of like this generation's Malcolm X meets Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
because one was peaceful, and the other one, and even though there was deep ties and there was secrets on, you know what I'm saying, with King, but then you had Malcolm X, who's like by any means necessary. Right. You know what I'm saying? We got to cut this motherfucker's head off to achieve our goals. This is what we're going to do. And either approach is, you know what I'm saying, both approaches have meaning to certain people, but the fact of it is that they were both trying to achieve the same goal in a sense of it, until, well, when you got to the end of the movie, not in the beginning, because one just wanted to be just isolated from everybody and just like, look, the world's problem is the world's problem. We got our shit. We good. So I loved that. I love that twist to it. You know, it gave the fact, it just made everything, it hit everything home, especially for why I see how so many people enjoy Killmonger is because of the fact that he's, you know, as an American, he's a Black American dude. He's going through, you know, saying he's got that hood vibe to him, but he's intelligent. He's a badass.
And he knows his identity.
You know, he reminded me of Tupac Shakur. I mean, y'all got all this stuff here, and everybody around here, Poe. Man, remember the interview Tupac had when they was talking about like the rich people and how the people ain't got nothing, have nothing.
Right.
That was Killmonger.
He was maybe like a like a bad Robin Hood, maybe. I mean, he, like I said, there was just so many Killmonger. Well, that's why, like, you could say everybody can have their top 5 of their top 5 of the best villains in Marvel. If Killmonger is not 1 or 2, then you're lying. You know what I'm saying?
That's my number one. That's my number one.
That's
Dude,
their
he's
number
one
one.
of the best villains that we've had.
I mean, he might number. I give him a strong number 2, but yeah,
I heard Vulture. I heard Vulture was pretty good, and I'm pretty sure Killmonger's probably going to go down. Vulture. I mean, everybody's going to move down once Thanos gets really actually putting in his work. So, but when it comes down to just acting performances, you know what I'm saying, Michael B. Jordan killed it, and you know what I'm saying, and even though Heath Ledger, who played Joker, is still number 1. It's one of the best roles ever in the comic villains of all time. Michael P. Jordan did it by not being seen as much, but getting his point across even more so, in my opinion, because his shit started a movement, in my opinion. I mean, because the things that he said, that thing that he said at the end of the movie was some of the coldest. Whoever wrote that, thank you. That was the coldest shit I ever heard in my life in a movie.
I'd rather die in the ocean with my people because they know who they are than rather live in bondage.
No, that wasn't how he said it. But okay,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
He just butchered it.
Hey, shut the hell up.
I mean, because you brought another good point. Like,
you don't butcher a quote.
Yeah, you can't butcher a quote.
The scene is in the museum. He's talking to the director. It's like, when she asked her, it's like, yeah, where's it from? Said, no, said that's from Wakanda. It's like, yeah, like it's like everything you stole up in here. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take it back, because I mean the way he brought it down, it's like,
yeah. She said, ain't this stuff is not for sale. He said he wasn't gonna buy it. Then she got to saying something. Then he told her he gonna get it the same way her people got it. And he was like, he said, you got all your people watching me ever since I walked through the dollar security, watching me. But you don't watch what goes in your body. And when he told her that, someone said that she started passing down. I was like, oh,
when he poisoned her, it's like, yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah, that's just his. You look at him and you just think of him as just saying like just a dumb hood kid. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people project. You know what I'm saying? African American kids in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way his look, his style, and you kind of look at he's just this thug. You know what I'm saying? He don't know no better, and he was orchestrating everything from the get. You know what I'm saying? So,
like the way he played Clown.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, damn, like it was.
Yep. Just to add something really quick though, man, they said he was from JSOC. That's the team that they was going to send after Captain America in Civil War, bro.
Oh yeah, the Ghost.
Yep.
Yeah, because but not to cut you off, but think about it from the beginning. When how him and Nakia Cross, she's the one that brought it. It's like, when people are dying and like people have the problems. Like, hey, it's like, look, we got all the resources. Let's share it. Help those out. Like, with medical aid, like the power of medicine. Like, think about it. When Ross got injured and stuff like that, like that vibrating, like the properties of it. It's like, think of how many people. That's what she's trying to bring across. And like T'Challa, he was kind of at a crossroads a little bit, but and of course, later on towards the end, he said, you know what, he sees the truth now. It's like, that's like, what's the point of isolating? And say, hey, we can do more and just hide in isolation. But, we can help.
But hey, check this out. Sinister Savage told me about the say he brought it to a different perspective. Hey, how you were saying that, Savage, about with the house or whatever?
The house.
Wait a minute.
You were saying like when about sharing their technology and they vibranium and the king he had to protect his kingdom.
But the ancestors protect the house.
Yeah, somebody like, what I would do, like if this was my house, like would I protect my house?
Yeah, I'm saying like if you bought a house, you own that house, what's more important to you, your house or the people next door house? That's
your house. That makes perfect sense. That's exactly how they looked at it. I mean, it's just no different than all these other countries. When you're close to a country that's impoverished, that has a lot of problems, you don't want that element to come into your country. You don't want those people to come into your country. They're like, look, that's their problem.
Right.
And that's kind of how, and even though you look at it from a standpoint, like, look at this technology, this could help a lot of people, but it also, you look at all these years of how they've been living in peace, that how they've been having harmony, they have no issues. They know if they started opening up, then there's going to be a lot of people that want to get a piece of what they have the wrong way.
Yeah, the piece of that pie. They want to steal the piece of that pie.
Yeah, and they also seen that there could be corruption amongst their own. So therefore, that was one of the reasons why they kept it secret, and they kept the deepest secret in the lie about Killmonger. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want this turmoil and all this shit. Because it's so real about how the movie is so damn real, even though it's so fictional.
One bad apple can spoil a whole bunch.
Think about it too, that it also showed what happens when it really showed the truth of the saying that history is written by the victors. Because look at what T'Challa said when he took the herb and went to go see his dad again the second time. And he said, "Why did you hide him?" And his dad said that he was the truth I chose to omit. That's one of the things that really struck home, because like they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely. He had that choice to give Killmonger, to give Eric something better, but he chose to leave him there. He chose to omit that truth because that was his choice. He wanted to write the history that he wanted, and that's what caused it.
Well, I know the sad part about it is, I mean, regardless of the situation, if he was still gonna go that route, he still could have came back and, you know what I'm saying, been like that person that always looked out for him, like when he was younger, like boom, like every time.
But this is another thing about the movie that it touched that was amazing to me. That was that it did talk about the turmoil between Africans and African Americans, because that was the one reason why he didn't want no American to come into, because they, you know how like Africans can talk down, look down upon, especially like light-skinned black people, say we watered down blacks and that they're not traditional blacks. They don't know the traditions. They're corrupt. They've been enslaved. All of that was kind of tied in without being said in certain cases in this movie because of how they treated Killmonger. You see what I'm saying? That's why he wanted to prove himself the way he did by, look, I can take this fucking throne the right traditional way, even though I've been Americanized. You know what I'm saying? So even though my mom was American, that to me was probably the most profound thing in this movie, that where it touched on every facet, from racism to even African and African Americans' own racism within. It's great.
The xenophobic nature behind it.
Yes.
Right. And you can look at it from a perspective of, they talking about how much money and how much wealth that this Wakanda have, that they keep for themselves and not sharing, and they see all these other people that's doing bad. You could take it in perspective, like all these basketball players or football players, rappers, entertainers, actors. They have all these millions and millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And they seeing the neighborhoods that they come from still looking the way that it is. They have enough money where they could put together to make sure that everybody have a good education. They could actually step forward and do this, but instead they rather go take a vacation on the ship and go buy on $20,000 purses and stuff like that. They prefer to do that instead of, you know, saying I'm getting this money and I'm helping out my people, like how other nationalities do it. They come down here, get jobs, work, and everybody know what they do. They take their money and send it back to their people. They try to make sure their people straight. They was showing it from an angle of, we don't do that. And a person from the outside saying, look, if he had to be a tyrant to change all this up, to bust all this up, to actually for our people to start doing this here, it don't matter what the situation can be, but we got to do what we have to do. He felt like that was the out. And T'Challa seen it, but he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know it because he was still blind to the fact of all the stuff, that the glitter and the glory that was shown in his face from what he wanted to be like his daddy. He proud of his daddy. He was still falling behind that. And then when you get hit with the real truth, that's when everything changed up in his whole life. You know what I'm saying? His whole world changes, and you can actually feel the different changes going on with Black Panther.
Yeah, it's like all knowledge behind perfection, because he sees his dad as like a perfect man, but up until he saw the truth, he learned the truth, and that said, he saw the flaws. Like, yeah, when he questioned his dad, it's like, how could you leave him behind? And that ideology, because hey, I gotta think of the people, man. You gotta think of our people, blah blah blah. So That's what kind of woke him up to that reality.
That's what I think. That's what really got T'Challa was just like.
Where the hell are you at, in the bathroom?
He do sound like he a million miles away.
Yeah.
It was like
Mike's moving. No, but the biggest thing that really got him was the fact that he was just like, Killmonger was their people too. He was one of them, and yet his dad treated him like he wasn't. And I think that was the big thing about Killmonger wanting that acceptance is like you put it earlier, is that he could do it traditionally, even though he's been Americanized, and he did. But again, the biggest thing was he wanted, like he said, that everyone in the world came from Africa. That is the motherland. So he said, shouldn't all people be their people? So he needed to take it all.
Right. Well, and then also the other thing was that it wasn't so much he got Americanized. I think it's what kind of like how T'Challa's his ex love interest, I forget her name, Nakia, how she looked at, how she perceived at things is like, look, I've been out here, I've seen how things are and how people need help, and that's what the former king's brother seen was like, look, these people are just like us. These people just have a different approach, and they're suffering in whatever hardships that they're going through. Because if you go back and you look at the beginning of that movie, it was the start of 1992 during the riots. You know what I'm saying? So right after the Rodney King riots. So therefore, and that was the thing that's why they were, they're ready to do a revolution on top of selling some shit so they can have more money so they can start this revolution. That's what this was all about. And because he's seen the suffering of what was going on outside of Wakanda, he had that vision of what T'Challa's ex was. So but the king and them didn't understand, because once you live, that's the reason why if you see people that's well off, that's wealthy, they can never understand how we are or how we live unless they came from where we came from to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's why if you've already been born and inheriting that into those riches and wealth and things of that nature, you can never ever understand it fully. So that's unless you live in it yourself, and that's why I think that changed everything for them. That's why they had to hide the truth, because they didn't want this same kid that came from shit to come out there and to start giving everybody else a thought process and maybe become the king, the future king, to start saying, look, we might want to help everybody else in the world because it's the right thing to do.
True, because he's from the other half. He got half foot in, half foot out.
Right.
Yo, there's one thing I want to touch upon. You know what I'm saying? It spoke to me, like I said, on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? It's like the way they humanized the story. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite lines in the whole movie was T'Challa at the end in the after credit sequence. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, a wise man once said, the wise build bridges and only a fool builds barriers."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, this movie was written over 2 years ago. All right, so it just so happens that it just seems like it ties in with today's political climate.
Absolutely, right? It does. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just a testament to who Ryan Coogler is. You know what I'm saying? He's a person that gets down to the grain, all right, to the real nitty gritty of what humanizes these characters, right? And like you said earlier, K-Mega, which I was listening, the way he touched on so many levels with the Afro-American and African.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because I understood that as well in the movie, because I grew up in Brooklyn. All right, you know what I'm saying? I was basically, you know what I'm saying? It's like I was basically a speck of rice and a plate full of beans, right? When I used to live in Brooklyn. But that's just the way it is, and it speaks on so many levels, yo. It's like he really got to the real nitty gritty. And one scene that I want to just talk about, just because I thought it was funny. And from the trailer, we never understood it until we actually saw the movie. You know what I'm saying? That, Okoye is like, don't freeze. And T'Challa is like, I never freeze. But obviously it's because of the relationship he had with Nakia. You know what I'm saying? It was like his ex. You know what I'm saying? The minute he saw his ex, what happened? He froze. You know what I'm saying? And then they tap into that much later when they get into Wakanda. And my gosh.
Shuri.
The music.
Oh,
music,
man.
bro.
Oh, man.
Once they started going into Africa and I heard the tribal beats and everything, I was like, whoa. I was like, man, this is something special.
I was so with the music special. Once I heard Too Short.
Nah.
The opening scene.
Yeah, the opening scene.
The opening scene right from the get. Yo, I can't find it. But the music touched on so many levels because they implemented rap when it was needed.
Right.
When it was needed, and it fit the scene. It fit the scene. It didn't feel like something like, let's say, Suicide Squad, where you had certain songs in there that you was like,
listening Too Short.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another thing I wanted to bring up. That's with Okoye, you know, when she had that conversation with Nakia, just like about her loyalty and stuff like that.
Yup.
When she said, like, my heart is with you, but my loyalty is to the throne, no matter who sits on
it. Yeah. Man, that's a hard pill to swallow, but she really had to swallow that pill, and she proved it with her husband. I was like, man, this girl.
That was her boyfriend, but that was a boyfriend.
And we saw that
the way they was talking.
And that's because of the fact that Okoye was very traditionalist. She was one of that pillar, and when she saw that T'Challa was still there, technically
he was still alive. She's like, "Oh, it ain't over yet."
No. And Wakabi's old punk ass was sitting there just like, "Nah, I don't care."
Nah, his mind state was like, man, he wanted to revenge his family.
Yeah,
he wanted to do. He didn't want to do it though.
That's why.
Yeah, that's what
he also tells he also tells T'Challa in that scene when they went with the rhinos. The scene that sets us in Wakanda, he's like, yo, we should go out into the world. He's like, you know, if you send me out into the world and whatnot, yo, I'll attack other nations in the whole nine for you. And he's like, nah, we don't need to do that. He's like, I'm just saying we could help out so many other people. So basically when Killmonger came into the scene, that's why Wakabi started agreeing with a lot of the stuff that Killmonger was putting forth. He's like, Dad, you know, T'Challa doesn't want to do this, but this dude wants to do this. So you know what? I'm gonna follow this.
And the fact he brought him the man that killed his dad. So
exactly, like you said earlier, that Martin Luther King, Malcolm X deal. You know what I'm saying? He's like, all right, this dude is going the Martin Luther King route. T'Challa went that route, but this dude wanted to do it by any means necessary. Yo, let's do it by any means necessary.
That's another point since you brought up Malcolm X, because today is the day, like 53 years ago, Malcolm X was assassinated. So,
oh wow,
yeah. Wow. I mean, there was a lot of tie-ins to this. Look, we got to understand. And I hope we touch on this too, because I was telling Chuck and them last night about there was a person that was going off, and me and him had a dispute about how we shouldn't be all accepting of this movie that we're all getting played, but I'll get into that later. The one point, it was just like we're all getting played or whatever. But see, the thing of it is, what was so cool was that it not only pulled it, not people of color, to make them feel accepted, because this is the thing right here that blew my mind, is that all the black movies that we have is either talking about slavery, which is moving and gripping, or we talking about hood motherfuckers, or we talking about, you know what I'm saying, just
the same shit.
Yeah, love stories,
stories,
fictional love stories about some bullshit. This was something completely fucking different, and it did something that we don't really actually see that much, and see black people happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see strong black women. You see a woman that don't. You see, okay, this is what's really wild. Like, you see, I call him Michonne. Okoye. Yeah, you see Okoye, and she had that wig on her head, and she throws that shit off. She's proud of her bald head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, she was a beautiful bald woman, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like, hey, yo, like her second in command.
Right,
yeah. She's
just wild to me. Like, damn, this is cool. Everybody's excited, and the music in this movie was so damn dope. Like, every time Killmonger came on, man, I'm grooving. Like, yeah. Like, you know, this shit was
and you're not wrong. And to add to that fact, look at Shuri, man. She's the smartest fucking woman in the world. She's smarter than
16 years old, bro.
She built most of the technology in Wakanda right now,
and she's advancing it even further because she did the new Black Panther suits.
Yup.
She did a thing.
Like, I cannot wait for Infinity War, because I can't wait for her to make comments at fucking Tony Stark about a suit.
Oh yeah,
I just want to think about the other broken white boy that she helped out. You know what I'm saying? Winter Soldier. I know he got that new vibranium arm.
Yes.
Yo,
the white wolf. Yup, the white wolf.
White wolf. But man, she was something else, bro. Like, she had that perfect comedy. Like, when she was at the in the lab with T'Challa when he walks in. She's like, the real question are, what are those? She's like, put these on. You know what I call them? Sneakers.
Yes. Yeah, she was absolutely adorable.
That was the funny part. Because you could have to sneak around in the shit.
Sneak around
like she invented that name.
It made sense though that she would call them sneakers though. They sneakers.
I was laughing when she was like, hit this.
About the line, you know, when Ross was brought in, I was like, oh, cool, another broken whiteboard to fix.
Right, yeah, like I was like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in a theater where it's predominantly white folk up in that motherfucker. It was like, but it was funny because it was just so cool to see.
Man, even white people had to laugh at that.
No. There was no. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, look, there's a difference, right? Like, because when I went in to see Django, right, it was predominantly black, and there was a few white people in there, and they didn't want to laugh at nothing until black people started laughing. They didn't want to get that work. And so when we're seeing Black Panther, I'm in the theater and it's predominantly white, and they laughing at shit, you know what I'm saying, that we was laughing at. And normally you would think that people would feel offended, but it was just great. And I love that the director didn't have no regard of sensitivity in that level. He just like, look, this is what somebody would actually say in this predicament. And because this person is feisty, got an attitude, and it's well, not an attitude, but just feisty, and they just saying how they feel. I love that.
Yeah. I love that. She is spunky, bro.
They kept it real.
How about when Sherry referred to Ross as a colonizer?
Oh, that was one of the that caught my jaw. I was looking around like, oh shit, I heard somebody say the N-word. Get out of here. But they were just, people was just quiet. Like, oh, because I think this movie had a lot of people, even if they were deep enough to think
it was reversed, bro. It was reversed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like to think about like, damn, a colony. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And then to see this fictional place to not be touched by any colonization, to be it totally advanced, and just to make you think, wow, what if Africa wasn't ever colonized?
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? Where would they be? What they could be a superpower just like Russia,
exactly,
just like Japan, just like America, just like fucking Europe. Where
do them blood diamonds come from? You know what I'm saying? And the cell phones, the batteries in our cell phones, yo, they're mine from Africa.
Exactly where they come from.
Exactly. And it was like I said, man, it was reversed. It was a much different side because
I spent 4 years of my life over there.
Yeah.
Damn, Lady Foxfire said in her theater there were only Hispanic and black folk and about 5 white folk. So yeah, y'all were good. Anyway, but no, but that was another thing about it. You got to give it up to everybody who went and seen this movie, even if they were just curious to see it or they were just a Marvel fan, that they went and supported it. And when I came out, those people were enjoying it just as much as I was. And like, man, I can't wait for part 2. Or I was hearing people say, I'm going to watch it again. And they were loving. I think everybody loved the guard. You know what I'm saying? Loved T'Challa's female.
The Dora Milaje.
Everybody.
Yeah. You can't nobody mess with that one.
Yeah, they were cold, bro. They were cold.
I gotta tell you though, out here in Puerto Rico, everybody that went to see it was Puerto Rican.
Going in on them, bro. Especially when the 4 of them were fighting with Killmonger, bro. They were going hard. Like they didn't hold back.
Oh yeah, at the end.
Yeah. Yo, but my favorite thing, dude, and you got to give this man some love. Winston Duke breakout role as fucking
M'Baku,
bro.
Yo, that intro alone, bro. When they challenged the throne in the beginning, oh my gosh, yo! Just the way they came in, man, I was like, "How is these dudes? The Jabari tribe gonna challenge the throne?" Okay,
and you know what? This was what you know. What I'm saying, you know what? I gotta say, fuck M'Baku, because you know what? Because I went with my old lady and her friends. You know what I'm saying? And then when girl, shut up.
Hey, you sound like a hater. Man, you can't be hating on women with that. Hey, let them have their fun, man. Let them have their fun.
It was all good, but I was just like, they were whispering like a bug. And then when Michael P. Jordan took off his shirt, when you know what I'm saying, when he was fighting T'Challa, you know what I'm saying? Girl,
strip down.
Yo, it's all good. I felt the same way about Lupita Nyong'o, man. She got thick for this role.
Yes, she did.
Hey, but they like they said, they touched on everything.
Bro, I'm telling you, I've been saying it, Angela Bassett, bro. look like a
Angela
goddess.
Bassett. She's 60 years old, man, and look like that. She's gorgeous.
Right.
And dude, when you saw her walking through the snow with that long dreaded white hair, man, God, she was a goddess right there.
Lady Foxfire is like very true. Get out of here, Fox. You just
bro, when they went,
get out, like
my old lady was like, "Do you want some of those little pop little things? Those because I got like a little Captain America one because Captain America is like my favorite Marvel character, and so."
You want a pop figure of M'Baku?
Yeah. She's like, you want an M'Baku? No, I don't want no motherfucking M'Baku.
But for real though, Winston Duke, that was his breakout role. He got such a big part as M'Baku, and he killed the scenes he was in. Like I was like,
eat your kids.
Are you done?
My biggest thing, bro, is when they were going to see the Jabari and were bringing the heart-shaped herb, bro. I thought they was about to set up for Mane when I realized they were gonna offer to M'Baku. I was just like, yo, for real, this ain't happening right this way. Nah. But
I could have seen it though. I still could have seen it though.
I know I could have seen it. That's why I was getting excited for it, bro. But I want to see because now they brought the Jabari back to because at the end when T'Challa comes back. They brought the Jabari back into the rest of the
table of elders.
Yep. Yeah, he's at the table of elders now. I want to know what's going to cause that conflict later that would make M'Baku walk away from the rest of the Wakanda tribes and become Mane.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
I don't think that happened. This shit has worked on so many levels this way, bro. Right. They're all united, bro.
You're not wrong. They are united, but it's still something that could happen later because most people. Like I know that they're already doing Nakia different because they already said that they were doing a major step away for Nakia's story from how she is in the comics because in the comics, Nakia is like completely obsessed with Black Panther and he doesn't want anything to do with her. Right. And she gets so mad that he's basically shunned her off after she does some crazy shit that she becomes a villain known as Malice and works under Killmonger.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen though. You know what I'm saying? MCU and comic books, we need to differentiate the two people.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying you got to realize that they definitely take a lot of inspiration, but they also do have a lot of planned out end game with everything, man.
No, definitely.
Nothing is without thought. I'm gonna say that nothing is without thought. They have to be knowing how they're gonna plan things out well ahead of time.
Now, another thing, I don't know if you guys knew. I'm sorry, go ahead because I know I've been talking a lot.
I just want to say, like, Forrest Whitaker, his character Zuri. Of course, in the comic, he's like a big, massive dude. But anyway, his movie counterpart, you gotta think about it. He's like Obi-Wan. He's like the wise one. He's like somebody you want to go to for advice, things like that. It's like, that was kind of cool at him, but but I know it's sad that that Killmonger took him out. But yeah, it's like he was about he did that to sacrifice himself to save T'Challa because it's like, hey, it's like he didn't kill your father, I did. I caused his death. Like, take me. And
he's like, I'll take you both.
That part was so epic on so many levels because I did not see
nobody
throwing T'Challa off that fucking off that fall.
But that's how he did in the comic book though.
Yeah, that's the epic part of the comic book.
Dude, I ain't read the comic book, know what I'm saying? So that shit just caught me out there. My cousin next to me, he just elbowed me like, yo, this is what's up. Right. I was like,
Right. Yeah, that's when everybody was, because you heard gasps in the what's called, because then you because you didn't see T'Challa for a long time. You didn't know what the hell was going on. You had a feeling like, of course, it's a movie. He has to come. This movie is his name. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is going on? But that twist changed the whole narrative of the movie, right? That's what it made it like even more urgent.
It raised the stakes.
Yeah, it raised the stakes, and just to have and the one thing that the movie also gave that I don't know if you guys picked up on was probably people out there, the biggest fear to a lot of people, a black person, a black man that has ultimate power that really wants to take revenge on you. That right there was like, to me, another part of the movie, like, oh shit, because he's like, look, we'll take it all over. I want it all. Yeah. He says, we got 2 billion people that look like me that needs our help, and anybody standing our way, we'll kill them all. That right there was, like I said, there were so many compelling points in this movie that I can't see how anybody could not like this movie at all. And you know what I'm saying? And so it's wow.
Wow. They had so much stuff going on at
It
one
was a
time.
battle of two different ideologies, yo.
Right.
And
Hey, so Black Panther was so good. I got a question. If Black Panther was so good, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was saying it was hype. A lot of people saying it was overhyped, and people saying that how they was hyping it up. But if y'all notice, why wasn't, if it was so overhyped, why they didn't see no sponsors? Like I ain't see no sponsorship from nobody, like Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, anybody.
Brisk was sponsored.
Well, you seen Lexus. Lexus gave a they showed
Lexus was the only one.
Yeah, Lexus
was the only one. And then was Briss T. Briss T and
Briss T
and Lexus. That's it.
And you saw Lexus for all of like 10 minutes.
Matter of fact, the Briss T commercial was directed by Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But what about all the stuff that be in your face all the time? Like how they do like the hyping for Wonder Woman. You see the big Wonder Woman posters in the dollar stores when you go in there by the Coca-Cola racks and the Walmarts and stuff like that. And all these other superhero movies, you see all this advertisement everywhere and all these big marketing deals. But they saying Black Panther was overhyped, but you rarely seen any sponsorships. So how would that make it overhyped? Do y'all think it was or was it? You know, so I'm just gonna put it.
Well, how could it be overhyped? I'm gonna go with this one. How could it be overhyped if it has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
That's a consensus. That's more or less like Metacritic.
It wasn't overhyped because it had no sponsoring. However, it was heavily advertised because Disney was being aggressive with the advertising.
Yeah.
The marketing.
That's the big thing is that Disney was like heavily invested in advertising the living shit out of this movie. Like,
and kudos to the marketing team for not spoiling the movie in the trailers.
Yes, dude.
Right.
Like their trailer cuts were so like spread out, still well cut together, did not give any sort of clues of what was going on. That was perfect. It was the best trailer.
I think that probably been in their contract too, because all the actors, when they got their script, they couldn't keep their script. Once they run over their script, the people come around and take all the script from them and shred every script. So it was like they wouldn't let no leaks out. So I'm guessing if the advertisement, they couldn't show no leaks because they was keen on no leaks getting out, no old scripts getting out, no net. And
non-disclosure agreements.
Right. And that was all around the board, and that was going on for a while. That's probably why we was blessed to actually see some advertisement that didn't spoil the movie.
Well, yeah. Well, Thor Ragnarok it didn't have the spoilers like that either. Matter of fact, it was.
Not even the eye. Not even the eye was a spoiler, bro.
No, Thor Ragnarok didn't show no spoilers because really, if you think about it, like they were showing from two different. Because it fucked me up when in Thor the hammer got broke. They were showing that in the city. And that was in a different location when the hammer got broken. You know what I'm saying? Valhalla. Like, what's this? There was other scenes too. So yeah, I think Marvel has learned so much better from when they started with Iron Man to now. And it was really smart to put Black Panther on Black History Month.
They made all the right moves.
They made every last calculated move to help this movie go, understandably, because it's a Marvel movie and they got to make their money. But to also, it's a damn shame, in my opinion, to have a comic book hero, or a comic book, or you know what I'm saying, or just from Disney
superhero,
to a superhero movie to get the highest budget for Black actors ever. That's, to me, that's degrading. I mean, it's fantastic for what the movie that we've seen, but I'm talking about for all the great actors from Denzel to Sidney Poitier, all the rest down the line, they have not been in a big budget film to this magnitude because Hollywood has been scared to really throw out an all Black cast and show their worth. I'm so glad that they nailed it.
They really did knock it out. And this movie marks what, 18 for 18? Like every Marvel movie has been a success, and they've iterated and improved their formula on how they do each one since Iron Man first came out. Since the first Iron Man to Iron Man 2, then when they went to Captain America, and then went on from there, every movie has been an improvement. You can go back on those movies and see, I see where this movie's flawed. Yeah, I see where that movie's flawed. However, you can see the progression throughout all of them.
Hey, then they got away from that cookie cutter too, because if you notice, they movies was starting to get a little bit cookie cutter, and then you had the Thor Ragnarok, then you had the Civil War, which actually people don't realize that was the foundation.
Before all that, you had Guardians of the Galaxy, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
After Age of Ultron, that's when they switched it up. After Age of Ultron, that's when they
because they seen that cookie that was gonna get burnt out, so they had to switch that up. So
that's when they started taking chances with Guardians and Ant-Man.
Exactly. That's the thing that I loved about it as well.
Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man, dude. Best Spider-Man yet.
Because after Ultron, that's when Disney really realized, hey, if we get too involved on it, this is gonna hurt us, because they saw how people will react to Ultron. So that's when they took a step back and said, Feige, you know what you're doing. You choose the people.
Yeah, that's when they put him in charge.
Yeah, that's when they made the put down, and Feige. That's when he called the Russo brothers, because they're the ones who really helped to give that
best move ever. They gave my boy
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier still #1, Jack. Look. If there's any complaint that I have, because I don't, Chuck, are you going to ask us about a complaint? Because I'll wait.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. This is spoilerific, so if you want to drop something in there.
There's one thing I need to add that K-Mega touched upon and whatnot, which is the budget of the movie.
Yeah.
Dude, just to put things into perspective, people, especially people listening to the podcast. It's the first black film, right? All black cast and everything. And the first origin superhero film to gross over $200 million opening weekend in the first 3 days. $201 million. Just to put that into perspective. All right, there's been a whole bunch of individual solo movies, but none of them has ever grossed $201 million in 3 days. And in 4 days, the 4-day total was $242 million.
244.
Look at that.
That was
244.
That was domestically.
Last Jedi.
No, exactly. That's domestically. We're not talking worldwide.
Yeah.
These people is going to crack $1 billion within another week or so.
Oh, absolutely.
They said it's on projected to outdo Star Wars all around the board.
Well, it's
the fifth biggest. It's the fifth biggest movie ever.
Exactly. Biggest opening of all time. They've actually entered the $200 million club.
Yeah. It is now the #2 highest grossing movie in a single weekend, second only to The Force Awakens, just barely beating Last Jedi. Let that put a note in people's minds. This movie competed with Star Wars. All right, one of the biggest franchises in the world, and it kept pace with them. And right now, I think it was at the end of the week for internationally and everything globally, it was at like 480 something million, and that's by Monday. That's not counting Tuesday. The rest of the week,
380 million,
387 at the confirmed on Monday.
Yeah.
But it's
I've seen on Forbes. 387 million.
Yeah. But this is easily gonna do $1 billion. Faster than the other Star Wars movies. The only one I feel like it's going to trace behind is hitting $2 billion, like the first, the Force Awakens. It's going to take a little time to catch up to that, but it's going to do it quick. But it's going to hit $1 billion easily compared to Last Jedi, Rogue One, and every other Star Wars movie that wasn't the Force Awakens.
I mean, you got to think about it. Like that was like a fastest. I mean, it was
it's the fifth biggest opening of all time, just for the simple fact it's trailing 3 Star Wars movies and the first Avengers movie.
I mean, look how look how great it did over the President's Day weekend. That was like massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, since Deadpool.
Yeah, since Deadpool.
Yeah, it actually broke Deadpool's record. Yeah. Deadpool had the record.
And what's crazy is that they also, another thing that Marvel did that was great. Look, and I like DC movies. I don't know how y'all guys feel about DC movies. I like DC movies.
Of course, man. We like everything comic books.
I'm a DC fan, but the fact of it is that the marketing genius is spectacular, because they gave this movie so many opportunities to do well by putting it on this month and giving it a week, a extra day for its weekend gross. That's you man, Marvel. I can't say that. I bow down to you, bro.
Yeah, they did capitalize on everything. They capitalized on everything.
They lowballed this movie. They said that they were expecting 125 to 150.
No, the original projections, bro, was actually 95 million by Disney.
Was it?
That's the original projection.
I heard it was originally 105, and then they raised it to
95. Then they raised it up.
Okay,
because they saw how people reacted
going
to it.
into like January that it was 125 million, and then after Friday they raised it to 150 million, and come Saturday they said 200.
They raised it to 150 because of the ticket sales, man. Oh, another one. It crushed on ticket sales. Advanced tickets on Fandango.
Highest pre-sale tickets. I think that it's that Infinity War is gonna do higher ticket sales, but for a single movie to come out this quickly and sell out or sell as high numbers as it did pre-sale, that's phenomenal.
Yo, Infinity War is gonna make gangbusters, bro.
Infinity War is gonna probably break every record that's known to man.
Yes, that's Black Panther Part 2.
I think it's gonna catch. I think it's gonna catch Avatar. I think Infinity War is gonna catch Avatar.
Oh, I agree, dude. I honestly, you gotta think that Infinity War is something that they've been for a decade, and they've been heavily talking about it for like the past 2.5 years. Well, putting out the last bit of their movies and then showing off 2 years back to back at D23 about Infinity War, leading up to this May. If it doesn't break every world or every record known to man, I'd be surprised.
Okay, now I just wanted to say this too. I don't know if you guys heard this, but the director, he didn't want Killmonger to be the villain. Did you guys know who he wanted to have to be the original villain, the first villain?
Craven the Hunter.
Craven. He wanted Craven to be the villain, but of course,
because Spider-Man got him.
Because Sony still owns
doing a movie.
Yeah, the Spider-Man universe. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so
I was reading that too, that he wanted Craven the Hunter, and I think Craven the Hunter would have been interesting.
It would have been interesting, but you know what? I think because of what's going on with, I don't know, Sony could say, hey, look, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know, but they got two different perspectives, because you also look at one from where they have they could try to add Craven for 2, or they could do a twist with the White Wolf, because a lot of people think that the White Wolf thing is that Bucky's going to be that's going to get inherited to be this new special force that was out there that was spies for the Wakandans, and he'll be the leader of that, or they're even saying,
oh, that would be crazy.
Or they're saying that there is a hidden white guy somewhere hiding in Wakanda that will be the White Wolf.
And so they alluded to Bucky being White Wolf though at the end of the movie.
I know, but I'm saying that
might be a little twist they could put.
There might be a little twist to it though. So you know what I'm saying? Because the kids might be seeing another white man running around and they just want to relate to Bucky because he's a white guy. You see what I'm saying? And call him a white man. Who knows?
That could be how they do it, but at the same time they could just use Bucky.
Right. Well, that's what
I could understand a Bucky movie, being called the White Wolf. Dude, that's my takeaway from the end. And I was like, yo, he could do his own shit now.
Well, Bucky's dope, man. I mean, he's going to get this shit.
I can
hold on, let me say this. Let me say this last thing. Another thing that the director wanted to do, but he took it out himself because he wanted to give more he wanted to give more emphasis to this story between Killmonger and T'Challa. Was he wanted to bring Patriot in as a special guest, and I don't know if you've heard of Patriot.
Yeah.
Patriot is the first black soldier that got that serum like Captain America, and he's supposed to have been taken and been in Wakanda this whole time. So he was really involved into this narrative. And we don't know what part 2 is going to be.
Oh, just to clear it up for everybody, though, when he says Patriot. Yeah, when he says Patriot, he's referring to the guy from the Young Avengers.
Well, you gotta remember, he pulled Patriot because Patriot and none of the comics has had any sort of history in Wakanda. That's why he didn't do it.
Well, that's true too. But I mean, from that's what the director was saying. Because when I was looking, I was like, "Oh wow, this is crazy!" So, because I was reading about it.
That got me excited though. I can't front.
That got me really excited.
I know what interview you're talking about, and I was reading that too, and I thought that was really interesting. But I was reading that when he said that he wanted to do Patriot, but since Patriot had no ties to Wakanda at all, he didn't feel like it would fit right. And then he originally wanted Okoye, instead of being involved with Wakabi, to be involved with Ayo, one of the other Dora Milaje.
Right.
Yeah, like the way they did in the comics.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to go into that, but he said that he still had Ayo in it. But he wants to kind of bring up her stuff later because he said the story playing out with Okoye and Wakabi had a lot more impact than if he would have had her with Ayo.
Right.
Right. So
yeah. Because There's another
I love
thing.
the costuming as well, man.
Oh man, yeah,
dude,
a person, a black designer of the costumes, like that's what I'm saying. Like it was so.
Yo,
so
it was
wonderful.
2 girls. It was 2 women who did the costumes, and they actually spent months out in Africa with some of the tribes, learning at the basic decorations to kind of base each of the tribes different attires on. Like the tribe that Nakia was from with the faceplates.
Yep.
With the big lip rings, those are really heavily traditional.
Yo,
Can't remember.
that's another thing that tripped me up, man. The tribes, the way they were portrayed, you had those dudes with those lip rings in their lips and whatnot,
Yeah,
and the ears. I was like, dude,
I mean, I think they from
bro.
they really from the tribes and stuff. I think they got like real people from tribes.
Yeah, they really got people.
Yeah,
from the tribes
that
out
shit
there.
looks official, yo. I
Yeah,
can't
it
say
was-
that
it
shit
was
look
legit.
fake, CG nothing. I was like, wow, that shit look real.
In Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
They
but that
kept
was
to the
smart.
tradition. Yes, it was just great, man.
Yeah, but here's
All
another
the
thing.
extras in the movie are all Africans.
And I love that too, with the guy with the leader with the faceplates. How even with that, man, he was dressed up in a suit and everything, was still looking clean.
Yeah,
hell
that's the
yeah.
dude from Casino Royale, though. The guy that played the dude with the lip ring. Yeah,
Oh, was he the one? Yeah, really? Oh, that's dope.
yeah, that's the bad guy from Casino Royale.
That sure the hell is. I knew
That
he looked
is.
familiar, but I didn't grab it. Yeah, that sure is.
Nah, I know, right?
Nice.
But they made that shit look official, though.
Yeah, there's another thing, like Ryan Coogler, since you mentioned him, Mega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he also had like some historians as consultants because he wants to have it be authentic and real and stuff like that instead of being fake and hokey. So you want to make sure it's done right, like those tribes are represented in the right lights.
Yeah,
plus, like the designers, like doing the research, like going to Africa, examine like the attire that they wear and like the mannerisms, like all the traditions and stuff like that. Like, well, as for Okoye, you can see how xenophobic she is, like especially of Ross, and especially when she says Americans and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did she really put the accent on it? But so that was some of the good clothes. Like what about some of the what about the CG? What y'all think about that?
That's where was going to be my complaint on.
I gotta figure that.
Yeah, that's what my complaint was. Is that I might as well just get my complaint out right here. Is that I hope that was the one thing that was my only complaint was at the end of the fight. You seen that it was too CG in certain spots when you seen the part of them, and then it got a little CG, it wasn't lazy work, but it was just you could tell that it wasn't.
They overboard it.
Yeah, they overboarded, and that's why I hope that they do for the second Black Panther is go to the Russo brothers and go get that fighting choreographer and go get that shit working, because to this day, only Blade is the only fucking superhero movie that I could say that has close to great fighting choreography. But what he did in Winter Soldier was to the next fucking level. Like I'm talking about, he almost had me thinking like this martial arts
in the elevator and stuff.
Yes, and so
everything in Winter
good fight scenes.
Right,
Winter Soldier and
that highway scene,
Civil War.
man.
Yeah. Everything with Winter Soldier was just great with the fighting choreography. Now with the one-on-one fights where they was fighting, where they fought T'Challa, those were great. But when it got down to that shit,
train level,
when it got down to you're doing the CG parts, that's my only complaint, and that's really me kind of nitpicking because, of course,
you have to really look at it.
You can tell, but
because you noticed it a little bit during the last fight between T'Challa and Killmonger on the track. Especially at the very end when they're seeing the suit kind of flicker on and off, especially when they took the faces off. When they took the helmets off, that's when you really started to kind of notice it a little bit. But the other big scene that I noticed it the most was the CG during the car chase with Claw when they were fighting on some of the cars, like when Okoye and Nakia were chasing Claw and they blasted the car. And how you see Okoye just kind of flip through the air and she lands and uses the spear as on
the hood as a surfboard.
Yeah, the surfboard, and you just see Nakia still sitting in the chair, just sliding down the road. Like that one was really noticeable, and then of course,
I mean, but that was good though. That was
everything in South Korea was dope though. Everything in South Korea to me was dope.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
It was just the end fight.
The end fight was the biggest one, but each of the fights were phenomenal. And despite how some people have been reacting, Ross and Claw were great characters. Claw was probably one of the most hilarious asshole characters for a villain that you could want. Like that was just great.
Hey, don't he look like he needed to take a bath every time you see him?
Yeah. He look. He was slimy, man.
But I think that's what made it great because, like, when he walked in there with Ross, and he's just like, "Hang on, I got the medal for you," and he just unzips his pants. He's like, "There, it's keeping it warm."
Yo, Claw was one step away from saying the N-word. All right. One step away from saying it. He would say savages.
Yeah,
a bunch of savages.
Yeah, he was wild, though. I loved Claw. I loved his character.
His character was amazing.
But you got to think too is that that character it fit how Claw is and the way that he acts, and if it did happen, I'm pretty sure it would have been a big deal. However, it still would have fit who Claw was, and I think that if they did, Ryan Coogler would have been perfect. Like did it purposefully.
I think it would have been too distracting, though, man. I think he did it perfectly.
Right. Because the way he got killed, man, it caught me off. It caught me from left field. I didn't think he was going to get killed. Like, damn, that fella. Hold on. I thought he was like one of the big bad. Like, damn.
But then you realize, though, why he got killed. Yeah. It was necessary to move the story forward. Right. That was Killmonger's ticket in.
And it also proved that movie was like, look, we didn't need no white actors to make this movie great. That was another. I was like, wow, like this dude, he is Smeagol, like my precious. That motherfucker is dope. You got the Hobbit and you got Smeagol. These dudes are well established actors, and these motherfucking you kill Smeagol off? What? You know what I'm saying? That dude got Academy Awards.
Don't forget that Caesar.
Yeah,
it's also Caesar and Caesar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so like I'm just tripping out like how they just came out with they threw you off with just different things that you was not expecting. I thought this guy was going to be running around for the next 2 or 3 fucking Black Panthers, but or just another the Marvel universe.
And I thought it was a perfect scapegoat because when Killmonger had him right there, he just like, I just thought you were another stupid American when he showed him off who he was, and I was just like, yo, you thought wrong, bro.
Hey, no, on the killer.
Just to touch on something real quick, though.
He killed his old lady to get on to let him know how he get into to get up into Wakanda. He ended up killing his old lady. That's how serious he was to get to him to get into that. It was like he told his old lady it'll be okay, and he was dead serious. Like, look, I love you, but this is what you know. What I'm saying, like it's bigger than you. Yeah.
He shot his girl right there. Didn't care. Right in the chest.
Yeah, he gives no fucks.
he cared, but he showed what was bigger to him, what meant more to him.
Exactly.
The man was on a mission. He was driven. And a testament to Ryan Coogler, though. All right. Some people said that the white characters in the movie were just token characters, token white people, right? I beg to differ. All right, because in the ending, when they're fighting for the kingdom of Wakanda, Ross was fighting for the world. All right, because he had to gun down those planes that were escaping before those arms and those shipment of weapons went out to the open world and whatnot, which they would have used against the world.
And here's the thing.
And he almost got killed doing it.
Yeah,
exactly. He was going to sacrifice himself for Wakanda. I mean, the themes in this movie are so freaking deep because he saw that other ship was on the outside and he was like, nah, because he knew that if those weapons got out, that would have been the end of it. You know what I'm saying? People would have been pirating that technology, doing a whole bunch of crazy shit in the world.
And then Ryan Coogler even said that one of the alternate scenes when T'Challa went to the UN is that he was going to have Ross talk T'Challa down about coming out. He was actually going to have Ross want to protect Wakanda and keep the truth hidden because of what he knew that it meant. Like a lot of people hate on Ross. Ross has become the new Coulson, and he's doing great with it. And Ross has been a joke character in the comics because the biggest
better than Coulson, the way Coulson played in the movie universe.
Yeah.
But a lot of people pointed out that the most popular run of Black Panther was I can't think of his name, but it was the more recent one. But they made a joke about
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yes, Ta-Nehisi Coates. That he made a scene where he was making fun of Ross, calling that he was the token white boy he was king of useless white boys. In a scene when he was like in the bathroom, like trying to kill a mouse. But what Ryan Coogler's and what they've been doing with Ross and the way that he handled his character and kind of showed his compassion for everything that was sacred to Wakanda, that you have to give respect.
Right. And then also they also did the tie-in with him being a pilot. Pilot with Captain Marvel.
Pointed that out
with Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Because the tie-in, because he was a pilot in the 90s, which make him be in his late 20s. And and then of course Captain Marvel's going to be in the 90s. So which is telling me that Black Panther is not going to die anywhere in Infinity War. And matter of fact, he'll probably be helping and assist in whatever
he's going to be happening next Tony Stark.
Well, if you think about it, Black Panther predated Iron Man.
Right. So that's exactly right. So basically, what we're seeing is that where Black Panther is going to be basically now the new Iron Man, or I should say his sister is going to be the new Iron Man, and
I don't know, because a lot of people were talking about how if you look at Shuri's costume, especially when they were there at the fight, how it had that her neck piece had the jaws of the Panther, and a lot of people mentioned about how Shuri did time as the Black Panther for a while.
Yeah, she had a comic
T'Challa incapacitated.
Yeah. So
matter of fact, the artwork for the Black Panther movie actually featured Shuri in a Black Panther costume. It was actually contemplating in that final scene. She was going to have the claws and a Black Panther outfit that she constructed for herself.
Well, she did get out there and put the suit on. Now, another thing that I wanted to ask out, and I'll shut up because I know I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Oh, you good? We get it.
Your mind, dude.
Okay, but the thing of it, also another thing that's really interesting to me, that is because of this the whole Disney Fox acquirement, that if they still can get it, is how they can tie up Storm being involved into the Black Panther mythology, especially knowing that that they get together,
that they get married,
that they get married.
They would have to pick the perfect storm, pun intended.
Well, I'm not. You know what Marvel's doing with their directing and getting their actors. Who would have thought that the dude that plays T'Challa, he's 41 years old. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? The man's played James Brown. He's played Jackie Robinson. He's played
Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, Thurgood Marshall.
I mean, Marshall All is in real life.
Yeah, like this man, they know what they're doing, and because Marvel movies, you know what I'm saying? I should say these superhero movies is making the money now. I don't think any of these big time actors is going to turn it down or whatever. So I'm not worried about who they're going to pick. It's all about the requirement of Fox. If they can give Fox, then the sky's the limit of what they can do, especially like with the Marvel Universe. And then they can bring in the Fantastic Four. You could have the actual true Avengers. It'd be so dope.
To go with you, Mega, is and Chuck and Collider can agree with this. We've talked about this multiple times, and I still stand by it. Is if it goes through, that they can plan out, because what they need to do first is they need to keep everything separate. They need to turn around and help up the X-Men universe and all that over there and get it right, and that they can lead and lay down the events to lead into Secret War, because then they can bring both universes together under one big event that'll truly be able to create a juggernaut. They could do X-Men versus Avengers right with it, and then they could put it all under one universe, because they can lead into Secret Worlds, and then that leads into Battle World, where everyone's in one universe.
I'd rather go for a complete reboot, man.
No, I don't want no reboot. I don't want to implement.
I'd rather try to implement them.
Days of Future Past was a fantastic movie.
Yes.
Okay, look. What dude does with the X-Men, it is hit and miss. He does great things, and I think with help with other directors to help him, it sky's the fucking limit. Like Days of Future Past was one of the best comic book movies of all time.
It was one of the better.
Look at this real quick. Days of Future Past. Think about the future X-Men that were in Days of Future Past. How many lines did they say in the movie? No, it was an incredible movie. I own it. I actually have the director's cut.
The first one, though,
how was that?
Class was great. That was a
chill. Let me say my piece.
Okay.
All right.
I get over excited.
Yeah. I'm saying it's like when they was in the future X-Men, right? You had Storm. How many lines did Storm say in that movie?
Not much.
All right.
I don't think she opened them out, really.
No, yeah. The black dude that had the M on his face. What's his name?
That's Bishop.
How many lines did he have in the movie?
How
about even the Asian chick? Blinks. How many lines did she have in the movie? See, that's one thing I can't stand about that director, Bryan Singer. He only concentrates on certain characters in the X-Men universe. Meanwhile, Marvel will throw something like Avengers or Infinity War, or not even Infinity War, Civil War, and every character is equally balanced. It's not Wolverine and his tag-along gang.
Hey,
all right? And the central character for Days of Future Past was actually Kitty Pryde. All right. Yeah. But the way this dude thinks, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it got to be all about Wolverine. So that's why all the other X-Men get shitted on. Look at what happened in X-Men 2. Nightcrawler, an incredible opening scene. After that scene, it was all downhill from there because Nightcrawler ain't do shit else in the movie. All right. This dude only concentrates on certain characters, and that's their main flaw. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Days of Future Past, but I can't stand those things with the other characters. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked to see Blinks more fleshed out. I would have loved to have seen Bishop more fleshed out. You know what I'm saying? But these characters did not get fleshed out. They was just eye candy.
Yeah,
that's all they were in the movie.
Yep. And that's what I was gonna say is that's what it needs to do. Is that yes, Mega, I agree. I like Days of Future Past because it was one of the better X-Men storylines. However, you cannot deny that Apocalypse was dog shit. Like they rushed Apocalypse too quickly.
Yeah,
they did not do the Four Horsemen at all well enough.
How did Storm become one of the Four Horsemen? That pissed me off, though.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I have stated openly over and over again. I love the X-Men First Class cast. I love that universe, and I love the potential that the new X-Men have. It's the stories they're writing is shit. That's why they're rushing too much. Apocalypse should not have happened when it did, and now the fact that
shouldn't have happened in one movie.
Exactly.
Apocalypse should have been like
now they're going into Dark Phoenix. I told them they need to get rid of Dark Phoenix. It is too early. She has not established herself well enough to do
her.
She barely came out in the last movie, bro.
Yeah, and they're trying to immediately go to Dark Phoenix.
I mean, everybody know what it is. It's a cash grab, and it's bad. And it's bad on us.
That through a recognizable face. Yeah, you got wait a minute. Oh, that's Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones playing Phoenix. Oh, or you got Tyrion Lannister playing Bolivar Trask. You know,
right? So I mean, we know it's just a cash grab. That's all.
It is a cash grab, and they need. That's why I want Marvel to take it. And I want them to keep the universes separate. Let Kevin Feige keep doing what he's doing with the MCU, but let them pull new directors and pull help to straighten out the X-Men universe, get it consistent, have a clear direction, and then be able to merge it all together.
Because let Kevin Feige just have on full direction of like, okay, this is what he want to do and how he want to implement the X-Men, and then y'all pull and take the story from the X-Men and work it in the direction that he wanted to work it as, so that way he could form this whole universe. Because in that aspect, that's his strong point, is being able to form the whole universe the way it fit together, and then you could kind of like say, hey, we need this type of movie, or go do us another Wolverine. We need a Rogue movie, you know what I'm saying, a Storm solo movie, whatever they need to do. Then they could branch off like that in their own world, but you can still try to implement them in the MCU, like, you know what I'm saying, with Professor Xavier. They don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying, go hand to hand, but you could see like, oh, well, he was there when he was there, like on Captain America. In the background, they had a dude look like Wolverine. I mean, we know that he was Wolverine. But they could have just throw a little flash and say, oh, the new Wolverine, we seem like, oh, he was next to Captain America all this time. I just ain't know. They were showing it from this angle, this perspective of what's going on. Now we're seeing they had most stuff going on at the same time, and we just getting different perspectives. So that's how they should try to implement it more on that than anything else.
Yeah, how scary would the real Sentinels be in the MCU?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I think see a slow buildup where they're actually hunting down mutants and killing mutants.
Right, like,
dude, I'm talking about some dark ass storytelling, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, more about X-23. I mean, she was great in Logan.
Yeah, dude, and that's another thing that pissed me off though. But I love Logan. Don't get me wrong, I love Logan. Bro, but X-23, how the hell is she in that timeline? So far off into the future.
Yeah, no, because
she's supposed to be part of the X-Men in the present, man. And you made her a little girl in the future. After everything is done and over with.
You got to remember, too, is that in Days of Future Past, it created 2 timelines.
I mean, that's an excuse. They just messed up.
I mean, it was a good story, though. It was an incredible story. I can't take that away from
it is still truth. They did create 2 timelines from that point.
Yeah, but it was a good story. Well, hey, look, I got a question. I don't know if she want to be name dropped or nothing like that, so I'm gonna leave her nameless. But she know who I'm talking about. She had it was a question she had wanted to know about from the panel. Which one of y'all or which metal y'all think is stronger, adamantium or vibranium? We're gonna matter of fact, let's go to you, Sinister. What you think? We'll start it out with you.
Oh man, it's tough because after reading up on both of them. I mean, for vibranium, there's 2 kinds of it, because you got
we talking about the stuff straight out of Wakanda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, since that one absorbs sound and impact, kinetic energy. Against adamantium, that's kind of tough. Because I know adamantium, I mean, you can slice almost through anything with that stuff, and plus some of that stuff's in their body. And vibranium, that's in Panther suit. If I had to, I'd say adamantium.
Oh, and you say adamantium? Okay, that's what's up. I got to hear the rest of the panel because this I'm getting intrigued. What about you, K Mega? I know he ain't just went froze up on me.
Oh shit.
Well, let's keep the party going.
Mega took it out.
Yeah, let's keep this party going. What about you, Bloody?
Vibranium. Vibranium has a lot more uses, whereas and has a lot more capabilities and is more dense, whereas adamantium's durable and can cut. However, it doesn't have significant amount of uses. The biggest use that they tried using was, of course, for Wolverine Skeleton, and a lot of that too is his natural body's ability just being coated and the probably one of the most durable metals in the world.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
it's like Bullseye has adamantium in his body also.
Yeah, but like I said, it has high durability, and right. Bullseye is a unique guy all on his own, but it doesn't have the use of capabilities and just the strength that vibranium has. But they're both extremely powerful metals in their own right.
Look at Ultron. I mean, because
Ultron was made out of completely vibranium.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for me, I go with vibranium as well. Well, really, my answer was really going to be it's whoever wields the power of it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was going to say, look, I mean, it's vibranium is just you just see different ways of how to use it, and the more that you see people how they utilize it, and of course how Ultron, how difficult he was to beat. Yep. And then like you got somebody like Wolverine that has adamantium, but of course, and like Deadpool, they can be killed if you know what I'm saying. They got to have a strong healing factor. They got to be mutants in order to do it. So you know what I'm saying. So it's got to be vibranium because of course, with sound, the direction of I mean, just everything that you do. It's a person. If you got a mad scientist that knows how to use both metals, I think that they would go with vibranium. That's my answer on that.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. No, say Cloud. I was getting to see you last, but before I go to you, because I know you're gonna drop something off, but I just want to make this statement here. All right, if y'all don't remember, Wolverine, when he was in the army, when he went to this special force, they went to Africa, and they went to Africa really to go get vibranium, and the vibranium they got was used in what it was, the Weapon X facility.
Yep.
And they used the vibranium to make something. But anyway, before I go any further with that one up,
for Omega Red.
Omega Red, which is a bad
motherfucker. Remember, Omega Red is made up of adamantium and vibranium alloy. They were actually able.
What does Lady Deathstrike uses?
Or adamantium.
Adamantium.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What
Sabretooth has it also.
Who does?
Sabretooth, he has it also.
What about
Sabretooth ain't get it.
What about Colossus?
No, Sabretooth has it.
And his claws. That's it. He doesn't have.
What about Colossus?
Colossus is
Colossus
is unique because his is genetic.
Okay, genetic.
Yeah. All right. So what about you, Cloud? I know I've been letting it build up for the anticipation. It's well built up.
Yo, I just got to put it like this in layman's term. Wolverine was never able to cut through Captain America's shield.
Yep.
All right, and Captain America's shield is vibranium.
You're right.
All right, and he's gone up against Wolverine several times in the comic books, people, and he's never cut through Captain America's shield.
Who was on the person scratch?
What everybody addressed here on the panel, all the different uses of vibranium.
Yep.
All right. The thing is that vibranium is scarce. It's only in Wakanda. All right. You can find adamantium anywhere.
All right.
And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, good point. But they got it in the what's the place?
Savage Land has the other end.
Yeah, Savage Land. That's it. But theirs is not as
that's the anti-metal version.
Yeah, but theirs not as potent.
Remember in Savage Land that the anti-metal is
once they get the X-Men back, I'm hoping to see a Savage Land with Khazar.
Remember is that they're already teasing that they're gonna do anti-metal for Black Panther, because that's what makes Black Panther so dangerous, is that in his claws he has anti-metal. Yep. He's able to cut through anything because of the anti-metal.
Actually, they left scratches on Captain America's shield. That's for sure.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Since you mentioned both metals, I mean, but don't forget, you know about Misty Knight.
Yeah, Misty Knight's made out of
with that bionic arm, you can melt both of them.
Yep. Yo, speaking of Misty Knight, and especially with the way that they were showing her off in like the Defenders build up, and the way that she was talking with Colleen, do you think that, because we already know that they stated that they're laying the seeds for Heroes of Hire with Luke Cage and Iron Fist, you think they'll do Daughters of the Dragon with Misty Knight and Colleen?
Man, that would be a pipe dream for me, bro.
I would hope so, especially since we saw her.
He had to be blooded on say that.
I was just saying, Colleen Wing and Misty Knight. Good Lord, man.
Man, we don't get blessed like that.
Hey, I don't know.
We never thought we'd see a Black Panther film, did we?
Hey, then drop in a little Jessica Jones in there every now and then.
Exactly. Look, Chuck, look at this. Disney's already come out and saying with their acquiring of Hulu and everything else that they're keeping all their shows where they are. They're not gonna interfere with everything. They're gonna keep them where they are while they build up their streaming service. Yep. So all the Netflix Marvel shows are still gonna be on Netflix. They're not going to move them. They're not going to change anything up. They're going to let them.
Of course not, because Disney streaming service is PG-13.
Right.
But speaking of, that's why they got Hulu. But that's why they put it on there.
Hulu. They're using Hulu more for their network and basis to help kind of do the back end for the streaming. They're going to keep them separate, but they're using it because of the fact that it's a great foundation that already works for a system, so they don't have to go and rebuild a whole new infrastructure. That's where it is.
Is Psylocke with the Misty Knights?
Psylocke?
No.
I know it's the cat. It's the Spider-Man chick. I forgot what her name is.
Black Cat.
Black Cat. I know it's Black Cat, and then I can't think of who the other two is. I know it's the chick, the black chick with the afro. But who's the other two chicks? That's
Silver Sable.
Silver Sable.
Yeah.
No. You think of the Colleen Wing. That's the chick that came out in Iron Fist.
Okay.
Those are the Daughters of the Dragon.
Yeah, Daughters of the Dragon was Misty Knights and Colleen's private eye company that they started.
Okay, all right.
And that miniseries was dope as hell, yo. The art, fantastic, man.
Yeah, bro, for real. But
right? I mean, that was like one of the sickest drawn like years,
dude. And I really hope they do it because they've laid like strong foundations. Because one, Misty was out looking for Colleen at the end of Defenders. She saved Colleen and had her arm cut off, but from
Bakudo.
Yeah, Bakudo. So, and when she was in the hospital, Colleen was there with her and they were talking, and Missy was talking about, she's like, how she was done being a cop. Like, bro, come on. If they don't do it, I'd be so mad. Like, that is the biggest cock tease of a pipe dream of all.
Stupid.
Yeah. I ain't stupid. I was speaking.
No, but that was a nice sidestep for Black Panther.
Right. We went all the way around the world with the Black.
Well, you talking about like Luke Cage? I mean, shit, that's where she came from. So,
well, that's what I'm saying though. But is that she does her own thing, and plus, man, they need a like right now. I'm loving that they have Claire Temple as the night nurse because it was originally supposed to be old girl from Doctor Strange. His girlfriend was the original night nurse.
Yeah.
But I'm still hoping that later in time that they rewrite it and get Luke back with Jessica, because in the comics they were married. They have a daughter, bro. And if they have a daughter, that's how they can bring in the rest of the comedy side, because that's Squirrel Girl was their babysitter, bro.
Yep. Man, I cannot stand no Squirrel Girl.
Hey, stop hating on my girl. Stop hating on her.
Dog. That is...
Yeah, because you got to think about it, and lost my train of thought.
I mean, I could imagine, because you talking about Squirrel Girl, man, ain't nothing about her real. She's the most fictional character. I think she was in there the purposely just to agitate me or something. Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, because what I was getting at, like with Luke and Misty and Iron Fist, like think of like what was popular in the 70s during that time. You know, black exploitation, Bruce Lee, and all that. That's why.
Yeah. The characters from that era.
Yeah, that's kind of where Luke Cage and Black Lightning came from. Is that 70s? That's why if you look at their old costumes, bro, it was very funk
70s.
Yeah. Like Black Lightning with that funkadelic stuff, yo.
Yeah, because you had Luke Cage with the tiara. You know, he had his bracelets. He had the tiara head,
yellow shirt,
and bright yellow shirt, and that big ass afro. And we kind of saw it in the show when he had the experiment. He had the afro while he was in prison.
They teased it.
Yeah, but he didn't have the shirt. But man, he was just like, man, this is stupid. And he took it all off and cut his hair. I was like,
the way they did the lighting on the show, though, man, it was normally lit with like yellow hues and whatnot.
Yeah, but it was real good. And I was like, they still kept it classy by keeping him with the normal yellow shirt that you would expect him to be in.
Yeah. I mean, but they do a pretty decent job to say it's on Netflix. But y'all ready to get to this off with your head segment?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now, K-Maker, see, you new here, so I'm kind of explain. So I'm gonna pick two people, and you just choose on which fighter you'll think that. Well, I just have to show you. You just go along. Yeah, it's the easiest. Out of who would you choose out of Blade and off of Halo Locke to go up against Black Panther? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start off with you, Bloody. So since you kind of already got the feel of what I'm talking about.
So Spartan Locke or Blade up against Black Panther?
Yep. Who would you choose?
Spartan Locke versus Blade. Who would win, and who would give the better fight to Black Panther?
Honestly, I would say Spartan Locke.
You go with Locke?
Yeah, Locke. You gotta think Locke has
matter of fact, hey, let me throw a third person in there. Since this is the Black Panther week, Ghost Rider, Sergeant Locke, or Blade. Let's get it.
If you're throwing in Ghost Rider, because one, he's immortal. I was like, he's the rider of hell for a reason,
right?
As well as the fact of he has Like he can't be harmed by Black Panther. He has no weapons that Black Panther could just cut through. He doesn't have any technology that would make him, vulnerable. He's not, Blade has nothing but metal weapons with Black Panther's anti-metal claws, and he just cut straight through that. And
man,
even
Constantine can stop Ghost Rider.
Constantine, we're talking Black Panther though.
Yeah, so but Black Panther knows all that stuff.
Even Constantine has proven that he has troubles with demons, and Ghost Rider isn't exactly a demon nor a devil. He's a unique amalgamation from hell itself.
Right.
He is the embodiment of vengeance.
Yeah.
But he can be whooped.
Oh yeah.
I ain't saying killed. I just say like beat in a fight.
Johnny Blaze can definitely get his ass whooped. However, it takes a lot to actually do anything. So if anyone's gonna go up against Black Panther, it's gonna be Johnny Blaze. I'm gonna go help Ghost Rider all day.
Ghost Rider. All right. What about you, Sinister?
I have to go with Ghost Rider. He just that supernatural power, man. He got so many powers and abilities under his belt because of Zarathos, that demon is bond with. I mean, Ghost Rider had multiple hosts like Johnny Blaze, his brother Danny Ketch, and so on and so forth. But
So we got two that's going for the Ghost Rider. So what about you, Collider?
Dude, same thing, man. Dude, he's the spirit of vengeance, yo. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to kill him. He's always going to come back. There's always been a writer. All right? There's always been a writer,
but he has been defeated, though. See, that's the thing. Y'all think about getting killed, but
all right, by whom?
You said
Ghost
by
Rider's
whom?
still around. You know what I'm saying? Ghost Rider's still around. He's never been killed. All right? He's never been killed. You could probably try to contain him. That's the most you could try to do and whatnot. Yeah. But as far as against Agent Locke is going to get bodied. Against Blade is going to get bodied. All right? So they ain't got nothing on Ghost Rider, bro. All right? They're both going to get murdered.
So you think Blade, what about Blade and Sergeant Locke?
No, Blade and Sergeant Locke, Blade is going to get bodied. All right? Because Spartan Locke got a Spartan armor, bro. You know what I'm saying? Blade ain't cutting through that armor, man. Spartan Locke gonna fucking curb stomp his ass.
Okay, well.
And what you got to think too is that Locke went through the procedure as well to be a Spartan. That takes a lot. It's a lot.
All right, well, look, check this out. Since I ain't really thought Ghost Rider too much through, he'll get too big of an advantage. I had to put him up against some of them higher. Let me take the Ghost Rider out of this. Let me take the Ghost Rider back out of there. No,
nah. He right though. You should take Spartan Locke though, because it's always been. So he added the curveball, but you added a supernatural element. You ain't think that went through, Chuck.
Right? Yeah, because that's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit too high on the food chain.
Supernatural, you got to put him up against supernatural beings and whatnot.
I'm sure they cross paths.
Yeah, but since you said that, but Blade is fighting vampires. That ain't
Blade a few times.
All right, so what about you, K Mega?
Man, I don't even know why you asked me this question, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? You know what my hashtag is. You know what I'm saying? Look,
we gonna put Ghost Rider back in there.
You can bring Ghost Rider, you can bring Superman, you can bring motherfucking what's that motherfucker that did that? You can bring the Phantom, you can bring the Doctor Strange, you can bring any entity you want to. The only thing, you know what I'm saying, the one thing that Agent Locke has that none of these characters have is that strong entity K Mega. They don't know about that K Mega entity. So say fucking Locke for the win, baby. They don't know that. They don't know about that, man. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'll will him the power, man. Locke could do some wild shit, man. I'll make Locke do a spirit bomb on their ass. Let's go. Let's go. Dr. Manhattan, don't matter who you bring. You know what I'm saying? Save Locke.
Man, he gonna turn
drop Locke from orbit like a orbital and have him fist pound the ground where Ghost Rider standing on.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's the only way you gonna get Ghost Rider in reality. I mean, if you really want to talk about
that's the only way you gonna get him.
But with the power of K Mega, man, anything's possible. Let's go. Locke. Save Locke, baby.
Okay, well, I guess that means all of us pretty much on agreement with Locke that's gonna go ahead against with Black Panther. So out of these two entities, I'm gonna start out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna go to you first, K Mega. Who would you think?
Man, what you think, man? What's wrong with you? Why you asking me these questions, man? You
gotta be on the record. You gotta be on the record.
I love Wakanda, but there's a new king in town with we got a Spartan that's gonna be the new king of Wakanda, man. And he's gonna be in this. He's gonna have Team Osiris with him with the sister brigade with him behind him, man. That means they're gonna be 10 times more. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, the Covenant is in trouble, Jack. Let's go.
Man, so Locke is gonna be the person to take over Wakanda.
Yes.
Hey, look, my boy Buck's just gonna be there chilling. That's all.
Yeah, Buck gonna be sitting there chilling, man.
Well, hold on, which Buck? They got 2 Bucks on both sides. One missing an arm.
They'll have 2. They'll have 3 white boys in there. They'll have Buck. They'll have the White Wolf. They're gonna have Buck, the comedian, and then they're gonna have dude that's the pilot. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Save lives. Yeah. All right. So what about you, Kaleidoscope?
Dude, Black Panther for the win, man. His vibranium armor, the kinetic energy that it could do, any blow that Locke gonna just rebound that shit right back at his ass, especially when he decides to unleash it. And with his claws, he's gonna tear that armor off of him like if it was sheet paper. All right. So basically, it's gonna be King T'Challa for the win.
Yo, damn. For real. And Mega, I love you, bro, and I'm all for Save Locke, but come on, we know the Spartan suits are made out of titanium. Adamantium or vibranium will easily shred titanium. It don't matter how much armor you put on Locke. Like he's gonna rip it apart.
So look, that's
gonna be like a regular candy bar. They're gonna take off the wrapper and that's it.
Yeah. Look, we saw him rip the car off the tire. He wasn't taking the tire off the car. He ripped the car off the tire.
He said, they're gonna do it. Come here, Locke. Come here.
That's what's gonna happen, bro.
Damn. I guess you might got a little saving grace around here, K Mega. Maybe not. What about you, Sinister?
Oh, Panther, man.
Ain't no K Mega force around here.
Tools under his belt, man. Like, I don't got no chance in hell.
Damn. Hey, see, K Mega, if you didn't know how the rules of this here work, you would have went for Blade.
Yeah.
So by the rules of the elimination, Black Panther would have to go up against Sergeant Locke. And it's what 1, 2, 3, 4 people to 1. Can't make it sorry to tell you, Sergeant Locke on the Heroic Vibration podcast, Sergeant Locke is officially off with your head.
Hey man, you know what?
Hey, that's why I say you got to. If you knew how the rules work, if you would have got him out the clear and went with the other person, he wouldn't be fighting for his life.
Yeah, man, that's all right, man. Me and Locke, I'm gonna try to grab Locke before he gets taken off, man. Come on, Locke. Let's go ahead. Just get you to put a stake over your eye, man. You got your ass
rebuking it, huh?
Yeah, man. Relax, man. You got this be gone for a couple of months, but we'll be back.
Yeah, brother. It was up 806. Save Locke DLC.
Damn.
Wow.
For $9.99, you can save Locke.
We don't want to give them no ideas like that, man. They might use that.
No, there you go.
Just send in
it for story DLC
to 999 West Boulevard, California.
Man.
The new boss.
You've been somebody address for real, but anybody got that any last top things they want to say about Black Panther before we get up out this thing?
Yeah, definitely, dude. Everything about that movie once again was incredible. From the music to the costume designs to the set designs to the way they showed off Africa, this African nation, this fictional African nation, and the cinematography, dude.
Oh God.
I mean, that ending sequence with Killmonger looking at the beauty of Wakanda just before he went.
Yo,
dude,
man,
that was just incredible, man.
That made me cry, bro. When that last fight scene, man, when T'Challa got that on him, and he was sitting there, my daddy always used to tell me that Wakanda had the most beautiful sunsets in the world. It's like, you believe that? No, man, talking about fairy.
Hey, y'all think they could bring Killmonger back? Because I heard some people was giving some rumors about Killmonger is they never actually showed him getting buried or actually dying.
If they brought back Jon Snow, then they could bring back anyway. Because you know what? I lost my shit. I lost my shit when Jon Snow left. I was mad at the motherfucker. I threw shit. I said, "You killed my motherfucker Jon Snow." You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm real huge on Game of Thrones. So.
No doubt.
In some worlds, you don't get attached to favor because 9 times out of 10, they may be off.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying? When they took him out, but you know what? It was such an uproar about Jon Snow getting killed that they brought his ass back. So yes, Killmonger can come back, baby. Yes, he can.
But they can't do nothing implemented because in all the comics he died. I mean, I had Savage Carter to go dumpster dive for me to go find a comic where Killmonger would live. He said he found one thing where he was resurrected. So I'm gonna have to go look for what issue it is so everybody could be alerted about it.
There's been a lot of characters resurrected in comic books, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just you got to come up with the right story and something that makes sense. Now, if you think about it, what's that on Vision's head? Isn't that the Life Stone or the Soul Stone itself? Doesn't the Soul Stone bring people back to life?
Nope. It's the life. It's
the Life Stone.
Yeah, it's the Life Stone.
Well, it's one of the stones from the Gauntlet could actually bring people back from the dead. So that's a trip in and of itself, man. Supposedly there is a Killmonger, not in Infinity War, but actually Avengers 4.
Man, he be the big bad Avengers 4.
No, I'm not saying he's almost bringing them back. Or I don't know. It's just a pipe dream, though. But still, it could be possible.
Yeah, Biggie said the time gem. So I mean, yeah, because they can go back in time. So look, and Captain Marvel, she can work that work. So it doesn't, we'll see, man. Look, it's one of those things. Look, because
as long as it makes sense.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense, it can work. And you would hate to see that character just be gone, because it's just like with Heath Ledger with the Joker. He would have came back. I don't even think it would have been Bane. I think it would have been Heath Ledger back again.
Of course.
And you know what I'm saying? And so
so it is the Soul Stone. So the Soul Stone allows the user to
see, I knew I was right.
So there's possibilities. And you know what? And Michael B. Jordan is so giddy right now. I know because of the way the movie is doing, but also I think he knows that. Look, his character was so iconic, and that was one more point that I wanted to make before we get out of here. Is that it's just like what you were saying earlier, Kaleida, about about what was the biggest problem about with the X-Men movies. In this movie, in Black Panther, the lead character, I mean the surrounding co-stars in this show was just as iconic as the lead character. That's a testament to great writing and also for great acting, because everybody felt like they had to hit a home run in order to make this movie work. And what they did is that they probably maybe got themselves some side deals doing other things on other movies and doing some other stuff in the MCU. I really do.
I could see a Dora Milaje film, bro.
I mean, they killed it. I mean, you can't deny that. Everybody could have, almost everybody in this show could be doing some side shit.
Or a Shuri solo film.
Yeah.
Or even better, an A-Force film, all right, where it would have Captain Marvel, Valkyrie, Shuri, just to name a few.
Oh yeah, speaking of side movies, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for Valkyrie and Shuri to be on screen together. I have a picture.
Hell yeah, bro.
There's someone who made a fan art of them together, and it's like Shuri's like all giddy, like fist bumping Valkyrie, and it's like the greatest thing ever.
Man, you need to send me that.
Side movie goes. I mean, think about it. I mean, you could probably do one on T'Chaka, like during his
during his
in the Panther movie, like.
I mean, they can
Like
go
them
in.
fighting,
Yeah, they could do a lot of things, bro. We could see stuff that happened in the past, yo, with Captain
Right.
Marvel, all that stuff, yo.
Mm-hmm.
And they can show actually a movie about Wakanda.
Yeah, you know how when Black Panther
on
beat
the 5 tribes, yeah, the different 5 tribes.
Right, because
And
you
named
said
the movie
what?
Wakanda.
How many Panthers was it? Was it 5? Yeah, it was like
it was a Panther, it was a gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 5 tribes, so they could do a movie called
Nubaku tribe, even though I
Nubaku,
wouldn't go with my woman or her friends, but you know what I'm saying? But they can have their own movie. They can have their own movie too. I mean, look, they were badass. I mean, I forgot anybody didn't think about this part. The funniest thing in the movie to me was when dude was talking. And then they went, and then it was like, what? Yeah. They was like, shut your ass up. You ain't allowed to talk here.
That's the unique.
If you speak again, I'm gonna feed you to my children.
Right, and then he said, vegetarian. That shit was funny as hell to me.
You know they ain't no damn vegetarians. That big.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying is that Winston Duke stole that show, bro. Like when he was on there fucking with him, that was great. Like that line alone was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the great thing about it is that I do think that they could do more on the Jabari is because the Jabari already are very unique among the Wakandan tribes, as they're the ones who don't follow the Panther god Bast. They follow the ape.
Yep. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and big shout out to Biggie. I was just say big shout out to Biggie. He said, "Do you think that they can turn Wakanda into the next Asgard after Ragnarok?" And then that's all I got to say on that.
Yo,
I hope not. I hope not, because them Vikings and that wouldn't be a good mix.
No, they said could they turn Wakanda like you know how like they
like Asgard, like
how
the way Asgard is represented.
Yeah, like it could represent Wakanda like they represent Asgard.
Yeah, okay, definitely. As a matter of fact, they represent the Wakanda better than they did Asgard.
Me too. I agree with that.
All right, because I mean, they actually fleshed out a full society, bro. You know what I'm saying? The way it works, the different tribes, just the way the day-to-day life, dude, day-to-day life, exactly. You know, they had trains, hover trains, people. It wasn't on no rails. These trains were straight hovering, all right, through these bugged out lines, yo.
And Asgardians, they wouldn't fight. They didn't fight. They got took over quick. You know what I'm saying?
The Asgardians fought with the main soldiers that were part of Thor's group.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them fought, but they all died to hella.
Yeah, they all got bodied by hella.
Yeah. Wore their ass out. So,
Hey, of course, I forgot to ask y'all, what was y'all favorite line in this movie? This is a little OT we going into right now. So what are y'all favorite line in the movie?
I told you mine.
Yo, mine is when they first got back to Wakanda and T'Challa's talking to his mother, and they're just laughing. Shuri's just like, "Did he freeze?" And Okoye's just like a deer in headlights.
Like an antelope in headlights.
What about you, Kaleidoscope?
Well, I told you earlier my favorite line was at the very end in the after credit sequence. You know what I'm saying? When he was like, a wise man once said, only wise men build bridges while fools build barriers.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You had said Jared Sinister?
Yep. Yeah, it's like Shuri is like, it's like, oh good, and it's like another broken white boy to fix.
But when you mentioned hover, I started laughing because I was thinking about when Shuri was messing with Ross when they were when she was showing him about the remote piloting. She's like, all right, you stay here and go there and you'll be able to figure it out. It's just like riding a hover bike. He's like, wait, you have hover bikes? She's just like, don't worry about it, we're good. And they ran.
And Sherry also told him right after that. She was like, "Oh, I built the cockpit American style for you."
Yeah,
right. Because remember, they don't have like the regular pilot controls like the way they do in the U.S. Because at the beginning, Okoye had her hands out. You know what I'm saying, flying this ship. And that scene that was dope as hell, where she was like, "Cross your arms." He's like, "Oh, they got me hooked by 2 grappling hooks." She's like, "Nah, just cross your arms." He's like, "Okay, what do I do now?" She's like, "Break them." Bow. I was like, "Yo, that's some crazy tech."
Yeah, that's how the connects was supposed to be while you was playing the game.
Yeah. It felt like that during Dead Rising 3, yo. It felt like that during Dead Rising 3.
Ross was talking about Killmonger saying that he racks up body counts like a video game.
Yeah, like Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Yeah. His kill counts are ridiculous.
Well, if people didn't know, mine is basically he says I want when Killmonger, he said I want to be buried in the sea. He said because he says just like the slaves, they knew death was better than bondage, and that was something that I mean that gave me chills because that was something that I didn't really know until I went and I read that for myself. Like, damn, did slaves really jump off the boat? You know what I'm saying? Because they knew and yeah, it's the truth. Wow. And that shit blew my mind. I mean, that really literally just like that hit home. Like,
yeah, dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going out like a G. Like take me out like a G. I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, because he's just like he was sitting there. He still had the spear in him and everything. He's like, we can heal you. He's like, we could save you. He's like, what? And be in prison? Nah. Yeah. And he just rips it out like it's nothing. Like he like that's what makes Killmonger so great. Is that he stuck to his ideals and his ideology to the death. He would not go out on anyone else's own terms except his. And he died living by his ideals. I think that's what makes him so great, is that he was willing to die for it.
Right. Hey, then you know how small of a character he was in the Marvel comics. He like a grain of rice, and see how they flushed out a grain of rice out of this Marvel universe. I mean, that's magnificent.
He had one of the best rewrites of any.
They actually gave him a real backstory.
Yeah, because before in the comics, depending on which version, is that his dad was the one who betrayed Wakanda, and they left, and he came back, and T'Challa was gonna take him in, but he wanted to challenge T'Challa. But in this one, they made it have so much more impact with him being his cousin, and then everything that happened to his dad. And the way that he was raised and the way he saw the world.
Right. They made him not be a bad person just to be a bad person.
Yeah, exactly. Like he had one of the best revisions for a character ever. Like that is my standpoint on that, is that he had one of the best revisions. And that's what makes him so impactful.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to go back to what K Mega said earlier about that last scene with Killmonger. You know what I'm saying? On how, he would rather die than to live in bondage. That resonated with me on so many levels, especially a deeper level, because, I'm Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? And the history of Puerto Rico, everybody was Tainos. That was the type of tribe that was here in Puerto Rico at the time, before the Spaniards, Christopher Columbus came over. And of course, on their boats, they had slaves, African slaves, right? And then eventually, they enslaved the Tainos and whatnot. And the last living male Tainos actually took their lives in prisons because they didn't want to see their women that were violated and their daughters that were violated. All right. Basically, another place that got colonized. And the men that were left here, the actual last Taino men actually took their own lives because they didn't want to go through that misery of seeing their women and their daughters violated.
Hey man, I know how that feels, man. Coming from someone who has deep native roots, not just in America, but Mexico, being Aztec and Apache, man. Both sides of my family killed each other. I'm part Spanish, so part of my family raped and killed the other half of my family, and they fled. And they fought with each other for years because the Aztecs and the Apaches fought along the border now for land, because the Aztecs were being pushed out of Mexico by the Spanish, and then they were being pressed on by the French and the English when they were colonizing the States. And then at that point, they had to realize they had to stop killing and make do with what they had, because if not, they were going to be wiped out by the colonizers, bro.
Yeah, dude. I even got to tell you guys, there's a place called Arroyo, which is one of the towns out here in Puerto Rico. One of the principalities.
Yeah,
dude, that part is mostly all African. I don't know what tongue they speak, but it's not Spanish, bro. All right, these guys never mixed with nobody. And the majority of us Puerto Ricans, though, are a mixture of the three, though: African, Spanish, and Taino. But these guys in Arroyo, they never mixed with anybody. They still speak their native Puerto Rico. Now that's a trip.
Yeah, and you gotta think that Puerto Rico is pretty small.
Right.
Hey, that's a nice little fact right there. Hey, who said you can't learn that on podcast? Talk about comic books. It's very educational. Help you establish a nice vocabulary. Well, anyway, though, you know what I'm saying? This was the Heroic Vibration podcast, the Black Panther edition, spoilerific. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for coming out, everybody on the panel, everybody in the live chat, everybody who haven't seen the movie that's gonna go watch the movie and come back and check out the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all y'all for rocking out with us. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy TripleCup Chuck, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.